What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? Celtic Warrior Shane.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1 again. This is where every show is our first show, and all of you are our drinking buddies. I'm at Ref Marsh. We are at WTR the show. With me today, Miss AmandaJayne. Say what's up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
We are minus one clump. We are not a full litter box tonight.
We're clumpless.
Yeah, a little clumpless. He was feeling. He was in a lot of pain, so he went to the hospital today, and they thought they might have to remove his appendix. Turns out it's not that. So he's just going through a lot. I told him not to worry about it, but I expect at least a TikTok video of him dancing in a hotel or a hospital or something. So we'll see how it pans out. But cheers to him, and hopefully he'll be getting better soon enough, and he'll be back. He was bummed he wasn't going to be able to make the show. So cheers to Clump. Also with us today, fully mic'd and hyped, we got Miss Producer Lady over there.
We'll see about that. Because yesterday, I was mic'd halfway through the show. You realized I was not set up properly.
She was not mic'd. Luckily, she is still loud anyways, so the mic I think picked her up. Anyhow,
I don't think I was, but yeah. But I'm here. Hey,
it's not loud to me.
Girl power.
Yeah, girl power today.
Girl power today.
Bishop coming through saying, "Just Amanda, bye."
Wow.
Hey, you know, Bishop was like, "Oh, you're agreeing with me on some AEW stuff," but you know what? Honestly, Tony Khan's showing his true colors. He wants to be WWE.
Yeah.
TNA.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I how can I argue that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So
down to the booking.
Yeah.
What are we drinking?
What are you drinking? What you got drinking? What are you drinking?
Well, you know me. Well, I actually have two today. I'm two-fisting it. So I have a nice iced tea from Wendy's. Did you know your breakfast could have been free? Well, I didn't have breakfast, so news to me. And of course, our famous sponsored, not sponsored. This was cherry with a little bit of Tito's in it. Well, actually, a lot of Tito's in it because now I found something interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the store Five Below. Yeah. But it's a basically, if you don't know what Five Below is, it's like a $5 store. So everything's like 5 and under, but you know, they have whatever. So they had this really cool like Slim Jim area. And get this, they have chili cheese coney flavored Monster Slim Jim. So this is going to be the snack. I have not opened it yet. I have 2 of them, but I'm going to see this
terrifying.
evening.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so if I keel over,
yeah,
it's because it was this stupid thing. And you can, we're not slopping into Slim Jims anymore. So just know that the big display they had with Macho Man, and he was like pointing, but he was pointing at these, which I thought was weird. So just so you know.
It's a sign for Macho. You got to do what Macho says.
Right.
What do you got over there?
Oh, yeah.
I've got a red blend wine from Curious Beasts, and I really like the bottle.
The bottle's really nice.
Yeah.
Have you tried it yet?
I have not.
All right. So if I know if it's as curious as advertised.
It's okay. It's got a lot of skeletons all over it, and so it kind of was like Day of the Dead-ish to me, and I was like, "Yep, that's the one." Yeah. I like red blends, and I like Day of the Dead, so yeah, it works.
There you go.
It's true.
From Cali.
Can confirm. Graham Reaper coming through the chat. Hi.
Hi.
I'm having a Terramana Rita. I'm doing Terramana with which Zoe did I get?
So
Pineapple coconut.
You're all the rock today.
I'm all rock.
You're
rock
all
on the rocks.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we're rocking rocks on Wrestling on the Rocks.
Oh my god. You got
Speaking
2
of red wine.
Smell.
Oh my gosh. Have you guys seen in the stores yet? Speaking of red wine, Snoop Dogg's wine.
Yes.
Him and Martha Stewart. Yeah, I need a bottle just because.
Wait, I haven't
Maybe-
seen him with Martha Stewart. There's
No. There's the two. They put them on the display. They're next to each
pretty
other.
good.
So you see Martha's the white, it's the red blend,
Oh my
but
God.
made in California. It would
It's
have
a
been
red blend, but
funnier
wasn't
if
it
it was
red?
Humboldt, but
I took a picture with
Yeah.
you and the cutout.
Yeah, there's a picture of me and Snoop somewhere because of one of those wine displays.
Nice.
Yeah, I just didn't post it yet, but I will. Yeah.
Yeah, you should post it.
that's a good one. That's a good
You
one.
should also post a little notable. We'll post it up on our social medias for people to see it by itself, isolated. But our new outro puts all of our new merch up from WrestlingOnTheRocks.com/shop. It's got a bunch of the merch. It actually doesn't have all of our merch because there's so much merch on that site now.
Yeah.
It I only picked like the top 20 things that I wanted. So.
Well, we have a
But-
top 20. Wow.
Yeah, we had like a top 20, and then I added Thunder Rosa in there. Thunder Rosa, when I saw her out in GCW, I gave her a shirt, and I got that drawing signed when her vlog came out, including that event. There's very clear footage of me and her talking, and she gets the drawing, and then you see her looking at it. She's like holding it up to the camera, and then she holds up our shirt, our episode 1 shirt, and like dances with it. So I found that, I took that clip and I put it in our stuff.
Nice.
Pretty good.
So it's good.
Because we are her cleaning. Sometimes her cleaning chatter.
Background.
So.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, if you got a filthy house, we'll talk you through it.
Okay.
We'll get you through it. Or if you got a pack for a big event, we'll get you through there. We'll talk
Yep.
it all.
Yeah.
Go.
Gotcha.
Grim Reaper says your trio is lit, fam. What do you mean?
Trio. Us 3.
The 3 of us?
Yeah.
We're lit?
A 3?
Well, Bishop
'Cause it's girl
bounced
power.
'cause it was just the 3 of us.
Well, I think this is a good. I like this one. It's it somehow feels light, even though it's a red blend.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
That means, see, that expression on Marsh's face means that he knows I'm gonna get tipsy.
Washed. Okay.
She'll be fine.
See, that's what that means.
I mean,
Woohoo!
yeah, I mean, you don't got to work too early tomorrow.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
All right.
Most of your office leaves by lunch.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
all you got to
They
do
don't
is get
have,
that first half of the day, and then you can just slush through the rest.
Yep.
I was gonna say, you guys don't have the like what they do in like Silicon Valley, like the noon happy hour. Happy hour starts at noon.
I mean,
I do
houses
not.
does.
I thought it was great. Like they bring out all the. Well, I was at LinkedIn once, and I was seeing a client, and yeah, at like 11:45, all of a sudden I was like, "What are these big carts coming out with beer?" I go, "What's
Wow.
that?" She goes, "Oh yeah, happy hour starts at noon. Would you like to partake?"
Well, we are
Well,
not
why
Silicon
don't I work
Valley.
at LinkedIn? You know what I mean?
Yep, not like that here. We get food trucks. We do get some food trucks at my work, but
That's true.
on
they
Fridays,
don't-
but yeah,
They
no
don't have
booze.
the fancy. Yeah, they don't have the fancy cafeteria that Facebook has or Google.
Yeah,
The
no. I
Facebook one
definitely
is
don't.
cool.
Or Apple's got a really nice cafeteria set up as well. But
Yeah.
it is Thursday Night Chaser. We've got to chase away all of the AEW this weekend and this week. There was some NXT shining a bright light.
I think we're just chasing away the IWC drama.
IWC
Yes.
drama's got to be
Yes,
chased
God.
away.
that's what we're chasing away.
So I need a drink, Amanda. Tell me what birthdays I can cheers to get this party started.
Okay, let's get this started. Well, today, happy birthday to the one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, Luchasaurus. So he's like 50 million years old today. So bravo to you, buddy.
Yeah, well done.
Bravo.
Okay, all
Well
right.
done. You survived the Ice Age.
Yeah, you survived the Ice Age, and you've, I guess, survived the IWC too. So kudos
Yep.
to you, man.
Do you think
let's
Luchasaurus'
see here.
fear of the Ice Age is why they won't face Sting?
That's good.
You
That's
know,
a good.
I wonder because
I like this
Sting,
story.
Yeah, it gets his snow.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. You know,
It's probably why
that's the best
they've
entrance
avoided-
ever.
That's why they've
Snow.
avoided Sting and Darby, I'm pretty sure.
I'm
Alright, what else
sure.
you
I'm
got?
sure. I know she's a controversial figure, but Mae Young, rest in peace. It would have been her
Yeah.
birthday this weekend,
Mhm.
along with Kenta, or if you other people know Hideo Itami, but that's Kenta. Okay, yeah. No, half of the Young Bucks has a birthday.
I think Mae Young wasn't controversial. I think it was Fabulous Moolah.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were both.
They both had
like they both were,
Well, back in the day.
Well, I know Moolah
was. That's for sure.
I wanted to say that Mae Young was like she was a hoe,
Well,
but I don't remember. I could be wrong. Okay, could be wrong, but anyways, half the Young Bucks. So Matt Jackson, here's to you, bud.
Well, I definitely should drink to that.
Yeah, I should.
Mm-hmm.
And then the lovely Santino Marella.
Oh, very
His
cool.
birthday's this weekend. Shotzi Blackheart, Jordan Devlin,
That's gonna be a
and
tough one for her,
finally,
too. She just lost her dad, so it's gonna be a tough birthday for her. So definitely send out all your good vibes and your prayers and whatever you do.
Good vibes to Shotzi.
Show her love. What day is her birthday specifically?
It is the 14th.
The 14th.
Okay.
It's gonna be on Monday, guys. Get your drawings ready now. Blast her with a bunch of love. She's gonna need it.
Oh yeah, she'll need that. And then finally, celebrating a birthday this next week, on Tuesday, everybody's favorite heel that wears fake Burberry, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Oh.
So, bravo to you, dude. I see another fake Burberry scarf in your future.
And a quick cheers, because I know it was I believe it was yesterday or the day before. Jacob Fatu had his birthday as well.
Oh yeah.
Cheers, to Jacob Fatu.
Cheers, big guy.
Man, the fact that he put over Sam Stackhouse so
cool.
clean the way he did.
That was so awesome.
Good Lord.
That was great.
I could have cried for Stackhouse, and I wasn't even.
Yeah, we weren't there.
It would, but I mean, how incredible!
I popped so hard and was screaming.
What?
I love it when a lot of guys don't have the ego and they'll make someone who's lesser known shine. That's like my favorite part of indie wrestling is when you have people who do that, and that that's gold right there.
And like knowing how good he is just like insane.
Yeah, how good he is. The fact that he was, like you said, he's got no ego. He's so humble about it all too. When we met him, the way we met him too was also one of those things where it's like, okay, this dude's got no ego. He's so humble. Because I had locked eyes with him for a second, and I know my eyes must have been like, oh shit, it's Jacob Fatu, and I think I'm wearing a mask too, so you just see my eyes get big for a second. Yeah, he's like, he glances over, we make eye contact for a second, and he like turns away and starts to walk, and then all of a sudden he just stops. Because I think his brain was processing what he just saw. Yeah. And then he turns back and smiles at me and then goes, "Get over here, man. Let's get a photo." And I was all like, seriously? Like, he saw me from across the room, saw that I got excited, and was all like, "Come here. Come over here."
We turned into 10-year-olds.
Yeah. But then we were just shooting the shit for, it must have been like 4 or 5 minutes. Just talking about Arizona, talking about Hammerstone, talking about MLW.
Yeah.
He was an open book and super cool. And there's not a lot of talent that will see someone and wave them over and then give something. Like, I mean, the fact that he didn't charge us for a photo or anything like that, like, a lot of talent would be like, "Oh, come to my merch table and buy this," right? He waved us over and essentially provided a service from a fandom perspective, from a meet and greet perspective, from a personal branding. You are your thing. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I try not to ask for a signature or a photo with talent outside of the venue itself. You know what I mean? Just because that's part of their job. Like, one of the things they do is sell those things, because they don't have unlimited income, and a lot of them don't have income coming from a ton of places. And if they're not selling a bunch of shirts, they're selling pictures of themselves. So it was just really cool to see that. And so
hopefully tomorrow Fatu will be the new West Coast Pro champion.
Who's the current West Coast Pro champion?
AJ Gray.
AJ Gray. I mean, it's gonna be a good match. This
is round 2. First one, no contest, and it was brutal. So this one again is going to be pretty brutal. So IWTV tomorrow's a really great stat card. Hopefully, we get fucking Malachi Black. Okay, I'm so excited. Like, part of me is like, oh, should I wear my Eurotrash shirt tomorrow? But I know people will be out. Of course, you're wearing something that says Marty Skrull on it. I'm like, but that was their trio, and they were great together with Zack Sabre Jr. But I think I'll wear my Speedball shirt because it's green and it's got a monkey on it. So, you can't go wrong with that. So definitely stat card. But IWTV, that's the one, man. You get so much wrestling for, $10 a month. I think it's worth it.
You're getting Juicy Fanu in April, right?
Yeah.
So just about a month
Juicy's
away.
on every show. We're getting Juicy again. Well, because, local people. But
he did say, he put out a statement that after these
He's gonna
shows, the
stop.
series that he has in April, he's going to take like a 6 months off and kind of refresh himself too. And with a dude that size, it's probably for the best. Because he also said it's for the longevity of it. When you think about it realistically, he's only been doing it, 1 or 2 years?
Yeah,
a
couple of years.
So new.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to see him between now and April, take advantage of that because it's going to be a while before you get the chance again. But that also means that when he does come back, it's going to be special. And I do think there's a lot special about him. So I think it's really cool to be in a position where you can do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know his situation at all, but the idea that he can take 6 months off confidently and heal up and then come back to it, like, I don't know if he has a full-time job outside of wrestling or not, but either way, he's worth supporting and keeping an eye on, and that's the dude, man. So cheers to him. I'm gonna just throw this out real quick. There's 2 shows we know of coming up this weekend and people should also be paying attention to, or not this weekend at all, but I just want to mention that well then I'll just do that one first because so there is one this weekend. Warrior Wrestling on Saturday has Thunder Rosa and Athena Palmer against AQA and Sky Blue, I believe. Yeah, Sky Blue. That's going to be dope. You're going to get Lance Archer versus Jonah. That'll be neat. Speedball Bailey against Casey Navarro. And we got Killer Cross against Jake Something. So it's a pretty stacked card.
Yeah.
No Ocean Spray? I know Cage
hold on. Here's
had...
Sam Adonis versus Psycho Clown.
Psycho Clown.
Psycho Clown's really good.
Yeah.
He was good.
And he put a tweet supporting Kane. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Kane Velasquez, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the whole Kane Velasquez thing, which is a total mess, man.
Yeah. So cool, dude.
Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be there against Silas Young.
Oh, good match. Good match. He's somebody that I hope that they bring back into the ROH fold. I love Silas. Silas is great. Great people.
ROH,
like,
we
if
don't
you
know
ever...
what ROH is yet.
Yeah, we don't know. Well, actually, the only people we know is someone who has a belt. So if you have a belt, you're ROH.
We don't know that for certainty.
Right.
Well, they're acting as if, but they're acting as if in defending these belts, like they're...
Yeah, they would. But they need to book themselves. They need to get themselves think I'm the current ROH champion. You definitely book yourself that way. But as far as whether or not Tony will or won't, I mean, if I could devil's advocate for a second, if he gave a shit about the talent who had the belt, he would have signed them by now. He wouldn't have waited for all the contracts to expire and let them go. Like, I don't think that he gives a shit who's got the title. Well, but if you think also about when NWA was using their when TNA was using the NWA licensing for the titles there as well, Dan Severn was the current champion, but the first TNA show crowned an NWA champion and Dan Severn wasn't in that match. They just took the title from him. So it's not unprecedented and unrealistic to think that if Tony doesn't want any of their current champions, he couldn't just say, give me those titles, pay them if he wants to, maybe not. Hey, give me these titles, I own the property now, and crown and have a tournament and do whatever he wants to do with it. There's no solidifying any talent right now until that they say that talent is on board for something. So I don't think anyone.
I see Perazo getting that stripped because she's signed with Impact. I see her getting it stripped. I don't see the Briscoes getting that stripped. Josh Woods, I don't know, even though he is homegrown ROH. That I don't know.
I see that all because there's no reason why none of these talent couldn't have been signed by now by him if he didn't want them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the Briscoes aren't going to turn down showing up in AEW. They're not getting offered. You know what I mean? But the last match on Warrior Wrestling is Trey Miguel and Myron Reed against the Rascals against King Strange and Dante Leon. Not familiar with them, but sounds good.
We got some chat who might...
let's see.
Some input.
Oh, someone in the chat right now. Viper. Well, it means VW. Viper. So, Viper. Whipper?
Viper.
The Whipper.
Okay.
19? What? What? You have to enunciate correctly or people get very upset. I asked Sledge if the champions had to return the titles, and he said he didn't know or hear the answers of that yet. Which one's Sledge? Why do I not know who Sledge is?
Sledge.
I should know. I feel like I should know this.
Why do I know
it's
that?
Vanessa from putting you over.
Yay!
So thank you much, Vanessa. So I mean, but even then, if the talent, I'm assuming like a tag champ or something. Like I gotta look it up. Someone could look up Sledge ROH for me. But I gotta imagine if one of the title holders doesn't know yet, I'm telling you, it's up in the air. At best,
They all
it's up in
know.
the air.
They all know.
They don't know. I don't think Tony gets back. Sledge is the ROH.
Yeah, he resigned.
Is from ROH. He's the metalhead.
Metalhead.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Maniac. Metalhead Maniac. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
If he doesn't know, then hey.
You know who I
think
also want ROH to pick up? On theme song alone, Joe Hendry. Because
What is
I
the matter
believe
with
in Joe
you?
Hendry.
There is no ROH going to sign anyone right now. We don't know what it looks like yet. You're trying to get.
You know?
And here's the other part. Tony Khan said that if he puts on ROH shows, he's booking the shows.
Oh.
So ROH
But he's
is,
got a show in 3 weeks.
yeah, one show.
Yeah, but that
I'm
was
just
an important
saying,
show
you're
because
putting
they just,
you're fantasy booking a thing that we don't know even exists yet. Like, I mean, it's one thing to put two people together because we don't understand contracts. You're literally fantasy booking an organization that may not realistically be here in April.
She's having some hope here.
No, you have to crush her hope.
no.
Okay.
My hope would be you bring back the original Booker before he got
Okay.
the boot.
All right,
but
We're way off.
But
We're so off.
we're way off. But they have a show in 3 weeks, and there's people on it. Obviously, a lot of the people have built. So you
Well,
can't say, "Oh, we're not going to do a show," and refund tickets because I'm sure Tony doesn't want to lose money.
Yes. Are you sure? He
Vanessa's
doesn't
in
care
the chat
about money.
right now. She says allegedly. She goes, the ROH show has minimal ticket sales. They've only got 2 announced matches, and 1 match is still up in the air. And no one's even set up for the Briscoes. I'm telling you, this Tony Khan purchasing ROH, as exciting and cool as the concept is, puts a lot more questions out there than answers at this time, and just really throws a monkey wrench in anything that we have theorized about Ring of Honor and what it could or could not be.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where he comes out and announces he bought a new toy, and now we just have to wait and see what the kid's going to do when he shows up to the sandbox.
Yes.
We don't know.
Yes.
He's gonna kick you in the face. That's what he's gonna do first. Haha! Look what I have, and then
Gonna rip a couple rails,
Yeah,
and then
'cause-
get to booking the show.
Vanessa in the chat says that Tony would just have to pay the venue fee and refund the tickets already purchased, which, is a drop in the bucket if you're a billionaire.
Yeah, that is a
True.
dribble in
But
the
it's
bucket.
not his money.
It's a
Dad's
it's a
money.
coffee for him.
Yeah,
Like,
that is an oily discharge in the pants for Tony Khan.
okay.
Well,
Wow.
You got gross.
No, I'm
That
agreeing
was
with
a
you.
little
It's such a
gross.
minimal. It wouldn't even ruin his day. You know
No,
what I mean? Just,
not at all.
No.
No.
I mean,
probably not.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're jealous. I mean,
Dude, I would do the same thing. I've said before, Tony Khan is a personal hero of mine because if I was given that many billions, I would absolutely make the greatest meet and greet of all time.
true.
And that's what he's done. He's created an entire world of him being surrounded by the people he wants to meet and take pictures with and literally dress up as for Halloween.
Yeah.
He's a hero amongst
Well,
us
then you got to
nerds.
dress up for him as him for Halloween. No ifs, ands, or buts.
How many days
Or-
do we have?
No.
Oh,
no.
9 months to Halloween! 9 months to Halloween! Everybody
No.
get your costumes down! 9 months! 9
Or-
months!
Oh my
You
God.
go on the Jericho cruise, which, by the way, people, just a little plug here. If you're interested in the Jericho cruise, hit me up because I can save you a little bit of money.
Mm.
So,
If you can save me upwards of 90%, then I'm interested.
oh, I
because
wish. No,
I think I can only pay about 10% of
I'm-
those tickets.
I'm not even. No. I don't even get 90%. I was supposed to, but
Alright.
that was a lie. Anyway,
Um,
but no. You could also go on the Jericho cruise and dress up as Tony Khan. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Probably
people
get
would get
someone
it at first until you started talking, and then they'd get it.
Well, that's probably true. Vanessa
Mm-hmm.
in the chat says, also TK said he wouldn't run a show Mania weekend. Now, I would contest I believe Cody said that he told Tony not to run a show Mania weekend. I don't know if Tony has said specifically he wouldn't, or just that he hasn't at this point. And that show would be Mania weekend. I do think it's best for him and his branding to not.
Yeah.
But also says, did you hear the fiasco of the Revolution meet and greets? Actually, I didn't. I heard that they were not. I think only thing I saw was it was not top stars. It was a bunch of like Dark Elevation people who a lot of the talent or a lot of the fans were semi-familiar with. And I know that somebody tweeted out a thing, and one of the talent retweeted the person and started calling him names, and I was like, okay, this is professional. Like, the guy's got a gripe. It's if you say, hey, I spent this for a meet and greet, and I meet someone I didn't want to meet, so.
Well,
Ninja Mac in chat says want to make a bet. Ninja Mac trying to fight me right now?
Yeah, what kind of bet are we talking?
Yeah, what kind of bet? If Ninja Mac's trying to fight me. I did set up the ladder for Ninja Mac at GCW, and I feel like weirdly responsible for any injuries he has coming up. So I owe him at least a drink, I think, because I don't think he would have.
I think, yeah.
If I had stopped him, right? Just hold the ladder. You don't want to do this. Yeah. But cheers. Yeah. Thanks for coming through, guys. I enjoy the chat. Ninja Mac says, big bet. Dude, I hope Ninja Mac is on TV soon. Like, just watching him. It's the reason he's not even on AEW Dark, or he could be part of the whatever they do with the ROH, like something like that. But
isn't he doing New Japan?
I'll tell you, he's on a lot more GCW shows than I think traveling to Japan would allow. I would tell you.
No, the US version.
Oh, Strong?
Not going. Yeah, it's Strong.
No clue.
Sorry.
No clue. Oh, he says Noah. He does Noah.
No.
Oh.
That's great.
I don't. Why do I? Or maybe it was something that was going on Mania weekend.
No idea.
I don't know. Sorry, Ninja Man. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. Were there other meet and greet issues, Vanessa, that you heard about? All I heard was that some complaints about the people they got. As we wait for some of the chat on that, I did want to say though, GCW. Speaking of GCW, is going to the UK in September. They announced 3 shows in the UK, and that's crazy cool.
Yes.
For a company that a lot of people have thought was even like dwindling, for them to expand the speeds and the length. Like,
I wonder if Gage can go.
I don't.
Because I don't think Gage went to Japan when they did Japan.
I would be surprised if Nick Gage had a legal passport. I don't know if you can if you have that kind of record.
Well, and also it's
MVP
not.
Goes to Europe.
I would include that it's not just GCW. It's them teaming up with TNT Extreme Wrestling, and that's a promotion out in Liverpool, UK. So,
well, I'm sure they're paired up so they don't have to fly a ring out there.
Yeah. But I think it's cool, the collaboration. Like, yes. I love that. Like, that's a smart way to do it.
You probably, since it's GCW, you might see Paige's brother wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and not,
maybe mom. So,
and also it's a 3-day weekend. Yeah. So it's not just one show. It's going to be a whole weekend.
It's three
awesome.
Shows,
That's really cool.
Which that's GCW's way. They get, this last time I was out there, they had a show on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. They'd have thrown in more if they could.
We only get...
Vanessa said, heard that the staff didn't know what was going on. Map was poorly laid out. Times were off to meet people, so some people missed their meet and greets and were rushed through with terrible pictures. Man, that's a bummer. I mean, I'll tell you, though, it is a difficult thing. I've been to a ton of meet and greets where I've thought that the layouts, and sometimes they just don't know what they're getting into. I forget which one I was at. I want to say it was ToyCon, where I pulled one of the people aside you could tell was kind of in charge of stuff, and gave them some
pointers,
ideas that I had on what might make this go a little smoother.
Yes.
And they kind of looked at each other, and they're all like, thank you. And then they switched it up how they were doing it. Because it's a difficult thing, man. Herding cattle and trying to give people a moment, like, that's tough. So
yeah, so if you are out there, promoters, and need some meet and greet ideas, reach out to Marsh.
Well, I got to see the layout. I was there in the building.
All right. I'm just saying, you got ideas.
Yeah.
Are you like going to be Conrad 2.0 with like instead of StarCast, we'll call it something else?
I think that's the dream, right?
Yeah, the dream is to become Conrad.
And not scam people for money. Noble idea.
I'd be the first in the wrestling business.
Yes, I did.
The first in the wrestling business to not scam a single person.
Well, no, there's people who aren't carny like that. Come on now. There are some that aren't carny. Brett Lauderdale is not Carney. Okay.
That's true.
He is not Carney. He's all about something that he loves, and I wish more people were like Brett Lauderdale.
He's chill. Vanessa, they're about to go live right now. If you guys want to check them out at some point, putting you over. Really nice people, really good people. So cheers for coming through. Thank you. Ninja Pack, if you happen to still be in the chat, what's the big bet, man?
Yeah, now we're curious.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'll ref one of his matches. I swear to God, I will. And I'll cheat for him.
All right.
Oh.
I will be compromised in an instant.
You'll cheat.
So is that all the news we got?
That's all the news I got.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Well,
got any news?
I was gonna say with the meet and greet, since we're speaking about it, because I had a friend of mine who went, and he said it was very chaotic, disorganized. He did compare it to Starcast being, whatever. He heard a rumor that a lot of people.
We were there. Yeah.
Yeah, he heard a rumor that a lot of the superstars did not want to do it. Didn't name names, but he said that a lot of them didn't want to do it. Jeez. But he was shocked that House of Black did it. He got a great photo with House of Black, and they were all in suits, looking really sharp. So definitely, there's that. Abaddon was in a cage.
That's cool.
That was kind of funny. The Acclaimed were there as well. Yeah. Bebe, Adam Cole, Bebe, and Britt Baker were also there too. So very, very interesting to kind of see that. So a lot of your B players weren't there.
Yeah.
Oh, Cabana, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
B+ player.
Loved the people. I would have pissed about fucking drag your ass out now.
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, and those are difficult to do, but that's good. I wonder too if part of that's like. I mean, I guess I have to really think about who all was on there, but I wonder like the mentality that goes in some of them who do and don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I know it's not the first time I've heard of attitudes in the back from people who were in the back and thought that there was some egos going around from talent. So
was it paid? No.
The meet and greets had to have been paid.
Yeah. It's just a bummer because like, yeah, there's some diehard fans that traveled from wherever, and I mean, you want to give them something. I'm not, and it just sucks for those people, or those wrestlers, soon to be, who are looking for that inspiration and just want to connect for like a minute.
Yeah. I mean, when I drove to LA, I drove 9.5 hours. And by the time I got into the building, the show started because the line was so long and they didn't open up early. And so I missed the meet and greet for the first day. And
that sucked.
Well,
that's PCW LA.
Yeah, I was like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go so bad was to meet like Cardona and them. But
well, Cardona's on the boat.
I know, but that boat's like
how much?
$10,000 a ticket.
I know.
It's $10,000.
No, it's not.
No, but it's like 1,000, isn't it?
Oh, 1,000. Yeah, that's still.
No, if you go. I paid by myself, and right now my friend is kicking me out of our cabin, so I'm going, and for me it's $1,700, just myself in my cabin alone. But if there are other people, then it's cheaper.
Oh, because you split.
If you have 3, I did with 4, but also the people I went with, I would never again, never again, never again. But it brought a lot of light to me about these people, and they're part of the IWC who like to be, people knew. People only knew. But so it's actually pretty affordable because you figure, all your food is included. Meet and greets don't cost extra money because Jake the Snake on the second cruise I've heard tried to go into business for himself, and he got told off by the powers that be. So this time he did not do that. So that was kind of cool. However, they do it in a weird way because they have it sectioned off. So if you know somebody who has like the first one, and you can find out who's at autograph sessions and whatnot, because they post it in advance, you can kind of swap with people. And that's what I saw a lot of people doing. I did not get to go to my autograph session because I went to go see the Art of Wrestling live with Colt Cabana. And so I missed out on a lot of people. And there are
It
people
doesn't
that
look
are
like they got a pretty stacked lineup this time. I did see their lineup. And
well, not
it's
yet.
definitely
We don't
enticing.
know what's going on. But
What are
the
you
Good
talking about?
Brothers are there.
I saw his thing. He posted fucking
But
like
they're
30
not wrestling.
People. Oh, not
Yeah, but
that
a lot
lineup.
of-
Just people who are going to
Oh.
be there and do the meet and greet stuff. That's all I care about.
Mhm.
The AEW matches are not like enticing me. to go on
Cardona-
like this.
You know, Cardona and Brian Myers are doing their podcast, so you know after they're done, they'll probably, sign shit, talk to people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'd be dope.
Yeah. So that right there is like I'm excited because again, I'm not getting Cardona at GWC in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So he's not announced.
And that's a
Janela
good example
actually-
too of like after the show, when I was leaving trying to leave the parking lot, there was a bunch of cars and so I was kind of stuck. And right next to me, getting into the car or loading up the car was Brian, Matt, and Chelsea. And so I just kind of lowered my window and was just like, "You guys are awesome, great show, amazing, so happy we got to see you." And they're like smiling, it's like, "Oh, thanks, man, thanks." But there's part of me, it's kind of like I got shit in the back seat that I brought just to have these guys sign.
Can you find some of this shit?
So part of me was kind of like, do you mind if I just reach back here and hand you a
Oh,
marker? But I didn't
yeah.
do it because I was also like, that's part of their thing. But I was also thinking about it and I was like, I mean, how much cash do I have on me? Because maybe if I just like whipped out some cash, I'd be like, hey, can I pay you for a quick thing right before you hit the road? Like,
You don't want to
but
be that
I didn't have
that person.
much cash and
Yeah, you don't want to be that person. But
yeah, that's what I mean. So it's
Sometimes
like I try to be good to support them, and if I didn't have the cash, then it would be like, well, can you take a card? Like that's a lot to ask.
no,
If
I'd be out. What's your Venmo? What's your
Yeah.
PayPal?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
your PayPal? I'll just PayPal you some money. I don't know.
Can I Zell you?
Mhm.
I mean, well, no, not Zell because that's phone number and
But-
But yeah, no,
Uh,
I mean,
But there's a lot going on in AEW this week. We had a
Oh.
pay-per-view Revolution.
wait before you get on, Chelsea. I feel really bad for her. She has the worst luck.
She broke her wrist again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah, her bones are not strong. I feel really bad for
She
her.
has
calcium
avian
or
bird. Like she has avian bones
Oh.
syndrome. She has
Yeah.
hollow bones.
Like I didn't even want to see the X-ray. I was just like, oh man, that sucks.
I saw the X-ray.
When
I know,
The
but
bones didn't touch.
You sent it to me, and I
Yeah,
was just like, oh god damn it.
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, God, I feel
What a
for
bummer.
her because especially she's got such great stuff going on right now. With Matt and
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's
She's one
fire
of the
right
hottest
there.
stories at all.
Match
She's
with
in one of the
Deanna.
hottest stories on the indie scene, and she just breaks her wrist every time she takes a front face bump. You know what I mean? Like,
Just don't do it anymore.
yeah. I mean, it can't be as simple as, hey, this one bump seems to break my arm a lot. There's got to be more to it than that. But it's almost all like whatever moves that she has that has resulted in anything, just cut them out altogether. Hey, look, I only fall backwards nowadays. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I kind of I just want
whatever it
I,
takes.
I want to
Yeah.
wrap her up in bubble wrap and then just like, okay, you can go out now.
Yeah.
Just
No.
That's your new
make sure you got all your
bubble wrap herself.
support.
Yeah, if someone's like, well, I do this thing and then you fall forward. I don't fall forward anymore. Only backward moves.
I only
Yeah.
fall back. We trust fall back, and
Yeah.
that's it. And you have to
I
catch me.
Yeah, and you have to.
And don't touch my wrists.
Yeah.
Do it in the
She does
shoulders.
every bump she does from here on out is like a coffin drop. Just arms close together, backwards. Nothing where she's out. Just whatever. Just keep it tight.
She turns into Darby Allin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
purely Darby. Just from here on out, keep your arms in. Like. Yeah, I feel bad. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. When she broke
If
it
she
again,
make
I was like, when I saw the picture come up too, I was like, did someone retweet something from before? Like, who's pulling up old tweets? And
Yeah.
it was like not an old tweet. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if Cardona should make a figure where she has a little cast. on her.
Oh, that's messed
That
up.
makes sense, actually.
No, it's not being messed up. It's like
Makes sense. I would say if anybody has a Chelsea Green figure that's out of the package, I would absolutely paint that one wrist black all the way down so it looks like it's got cast on it like the Owen
Messed
Hart ones did.
up.
Yeah.
They did it with Owen Hart and Bob Orton. There's
Okay.
figures of them with the cast
right.
on.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Chelsea
seen
Green
people
deserves
with
that.
they've made neck braces for people.
Deserved it.
Okay.
Andy Kaufman. I have a
Yes.
neck brace Andy Kaufman figure right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, right.
Oh, yeah, and then also too, they did release some of the figures.
Yes.
Not surprising, Cody has 2 more that were in the can.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm like, really? He's gone. Why do you have to sell it?
I was happy
But-
to see Ricky
Thunder
Hobbs
Rosa.
and Eddie Kingston. I was happy to see 2 Thunder Rosas.
Roses. Mhm.
I'll be
You get
honest
2
though, they have another couple of Darbys. They have more Codys. I don't like when they jump on getting like a Sting and a Christian Cage. Their figures right away. I don't mind the Taz because Taz didn't have a lot of figures to begin with either.
Taz
way,
didn't have.
But like, how many Sting figures do you need? You know what I mean? Like in general, that exist. Every company ever has made a lot of Sting figures. They could have put a pause on him to get other people figures, but
yes.
You know what I'd like?
They're doing a good job.
I'd like a ring, and like the entrance ramp in snow. That's the only thing I would need for Sting.
They have a ring and an entrance ramp now, so all you need is a bubble maker.
Yeah, or something. Snow. I mean, that's great. I must say, Eddie Kingston, I feel really bad for him. His does not look like him at all.
His figure looked like
Christian.
shit.
Christian looks like shit. He looks so old in the face.
It was
I was
weird.
like, poor Christian. Who did these head scans? But then you have someone like Thunder Rosa. I mean, oh God, hers is incredible.
Hers look great.
Hobbs, a little darker, but and then Ricky. Y'all lost money. Y'all should have made fashion doll Ricky Starks. I am so sorry. You lost a lot of money. That little chain, you could have had like 4 different ones that came with it, the accessories. I would have bought it. I would have. I'm making him clothing. And they also did not do his butt justice. It's flat.
I thought
like
that too.
According to Flip Gordon.
The Tay Conti toy. They gave that a huge bubble butt, and I was like, they could have used the same mold on Ricky. They really could have. Like...
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, seriously, like, that's a booty. Like, I'm sure we're going to get into this, but that Face of the Revolution match, I'm sorry. I think he got stuck. And it was his butt between some of the rungs. That's the problem with having junk in the trunk.
We'll do it.
And finally, they're doing Hook. They're doing a Hook. I mean, where's Colt Cabana?
There's no Colt. They got Malachi Black already.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And they have like another Miro, like another 1 or 2 Miros. Like, I just think that like the people who already have figures in existence, like I get you want to be on top of it to make money off of people that people want to buy figures of, right?
I'd buy Varsity Blondes.
But yeah, I would like to see some Varsity Blondes ones before I see another Sting and another Cody. Like, and I also get it that, I mean, the other thing is this, is they are just pumping out these figures. Like, WWE comes out with a new set, like, every few months or so. So, like, in the course of a year, you get, like, 4 sets or so. In the first year alone, from the time that they launched the toys, they had, like, 6 sets out within a year. Like, they're just... Yeah. Well, and if you notice, there was a while, the first, like, 7 series only had 1 new person. It was the same series 1, but with 1 other person, and it was the same series with other gear on. So they were just repainting all the figures just to get more and more out. And so I think I'd like to see scan more people.
And then number 9, the Unrivaled 9 with Thunder Rosa and all these people, that doesn't come out till August.
Yeah.
So I implore you, if you happen to see the Darby Allin, which is Ricky Starks, dressed as Darby. If you see Darby, please pick him up for me. Yeah. I'll reward you handsomely because it's a chase. And
did you see they came out with a figure of Brody Lee with his son?
Yes. That was really nice.
It was nice, and I liked it, and I wish that they'd given it to him as a gift, but I don't like that they're selling it, and I don't like that they're selling it at a premium. Yeah. That's like a $60 pack where all their other 2 packs are like $40.
No, there's some packs that are like 60. I think Cody, the brothers, Cody and Dustin. I thought they were like 60 or 70.
No, they were 40. And that's what I mean. Like the fact that they're doing it at a premium, like it's more expensive to get Brody and his kid as a memorial thing. Yeah. It's just dirty. I don't like that.
Are they giving that money to the family?
They're definitely not giving 100% of it to them if they're giving it some of them, and plus she's an employee of the company, so if she needed the money, why don't you just give her a raise?
Yeah.
And secondly, I mean, selling a figure of a child to me is a little awkward. Like, I think that the toy pack together is really cool and cool for the family, and I could understand making some and giving to them as gifts.
Yeah,
like,
for them.
How's this as a thing? Yeah. But to sell it for profit the way that they are, I just wish that they didn't do that. Yeah. But I do think it's really cool of them to make the thing to begin with. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that's really cool for the kid. And that's really cool for the mom. And then I saw they were selling it to everybody.
Yeah.
And then I saw it was more expensive than other 2-packs, and I was like, wait, like, you don't need to go that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's absolutely. It's just I just didn't like it. I don't like that part of it.
Yeah, like it's not a story.
Yeah, it's not. But did they do Father and Son, Sting and Darby?
No, you don't have a 2-pack
No.
of them. And even the brothers one was them bloodied up from the one match they had. I will say that in WWE they released a 2-pack of family members before, and there's 1-pack out there that's the Anvil and Natty Neidhart, but Natty's obviously a grown adult and it's a little different.
Yes.
And I think that there's there's obviously like the all the tag teams that were family members and stuff like that. But there's the Natty and Anvil. Like I said, I like the idea that they made it. And I think putting that little bit of effort out there is really cool. But I just also feel like when a kid's at play here, that you just a little more private. And you put it out there. You can even show a picture. Look what we did for the kid. And everyone go, oh, that's how nice you did for the kid. But to try and sell it at a premium. And I even understand some of that's Ringside Collectibles and not even AEW. Ringside Collectibles will price stuff up.
They do.
Like they'll just say, hey, this is more valuable now because we want it to be. Whether or not you can find another site for less or you find it in the stores for less, they just will mark stuff up. So there's also every possibility Ringside Collectibles specifically has marked it up to make a profit on their side of it. And that's a shame as well. I just don't like that.
But you can, when they put it on Pro Wrestling Tees, you can get it and you can use the coupons on them.
Nice.
And they're $19.99.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk Revolution.
Yeah.
I only watched a few matches here because there's a lot I did not care about. Did you watch the buy-in at all?
No, I missed
They had
it because
Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander I didn't watch. We had Hook versus QT Marshall, which I can't imagine anybody watching.
no. Well, unless you like Hook.
Yeah, but but QT. Let's see, House of Black versus Pac, Penta, and Eric Redbeard.
That was interesting.
Did
I
you
saw
see
that
it?
tail. Not the whole thing, only the tail end of it because I got home too late.
Okay.
Yeah. I was getting undercooked pizza apparently. So
Oh, very good.
yeah. Thanks, Roundtable. But also thank you for my money back.
Anything you want to say about the match?
I'm sorry, and we're gonna mention this again, but I'm really bothered by the Grim Reaper. Do we really need this now? Do we?
Yeah, that
Do we
weird.
Penta out the shovel? Do we really need this? Is it necessary? I don't know.
Like it.
I don't know what
I
it
don't-
is. I didn't see it, so.
Oh, a couple of weeks. Was it 2 weeks ago or last week?
Yeah, we talked about
it was 2
It's-
weeks ago.
One of the managers comes out all painted up with like a hood on. And
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense.
All right.
Yeah, the first time he looked like Death from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole cloak and the whole thing. They're trying to make him now. They gave him like a monk kind of costume with the I don't know about any of these things, but it was that ball thing that had like smoke coming out of it. Do you know what I'm talking? I don't even
incense
know.
things was a little
The incense thing.
reset.
Yes, he had one of those. Well, he had it on Wednesday. I don't know if he had it at Revolution, but it's a little bunch now.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
can
into that.
Grim
thing.
Reaper coming in through the chat.
Yeah, he says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Yeah, Grim Reaper's upset to see somebody taking his gimmick like that.
Not you. What's his face?
Yeah, I prefer this Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
either way, moving on.
this other one. No, that needs
do you
to
have
be.
anything you want to say about that match, or do you want us to move on?
Let's just move on to the
So the show
pay-per-view.
opened up with Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
I like this. I think that the program with Jericho and Kingston is the best version that we've seen of Jericho in AEW since the start of AEW.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I say
absolutely.
that as someone who has enjoyed almost none of what he's done in AEW thus far.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I will say that this has been the best program that Eddie Kingston has been in
Yes.
since he's been with AEW.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like, I don't want to say, okay, he was owed this because he kind of was, but this was a great use of his mic skills this whole time and just everything. And Obviously, when there's a great payout that's coming with it, and I think that it was booked perfectly. Tony got it right this time, and that was a shocker because I had a feeling like, oh, Eddie's not going to win. It's going to be stupid. Yeah.
Well, I think, for one, someone pointed out that Jericho's lost every match he's ever had at Revolution.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think part of the reason, and I think too much credit is given to Tony Khan when stuff is good, and I think too much credit is given to Tony Khan when stuff is bad. I do think that there is a lot of free-for-all happening there, and I think that when programs are good, it's just by happenstance that the performers came up with a good idea and executed it. I think when stuff comes out bad, it's just by happenstance that the performers had a terrible idea that wasn't ever going to work out well, and they flubbed the whole thing, and Tony Khan never stopped them. I do think that there's an onus on Tony Khan to push the right stuff and to be more involved in that concept. But one of the things Swole complained about was that if you don't have an idea, neither will they. Like, you only have to come with them with ideas, and if they want to do it, then they will. If they don't, then you're just back to the drawing board and alone. That the talent's expected to come up with everything. So I do think that the idea of like Tony got this one right. I think Jericho got this one right, if I'm being honest. I feel like this was a Jericho thing. And I think Jericho did a good thing here. Putting over Kingston this way, I think was great. And the match was solid. I missed the spot where, like, I guess it opened up with Jericho slapping his head on something, and I was turning on the show right as the spot happened, so I missed that. But I liked it. Mm-hmm. I will say the only thing I didn't like was that stretch plum submission looked terrible.
Yeah.
It just didn't look like it was on in any position that could hurt anybody at all, and maybe it was the camera angle. I don't know, but it just... I was trying to figure out what Kingston was trying to do because it didn't make any sense physically how that would hurt someone, and then he was tapping before I knew it, and I was like, what do you... And also, I mean, that could also just come from the fact that, like, I'm double jointed in my shoulders, so, like, arm locks don't work on me very well. Like, I've had people, in one of my former jobs, like, combat was a thing, and so we would, like, train moves on each other and stuff and practice, and one of the things someone was trying to show me was an arm bar and how horrible it was, and I was just like, okay, I'm waiting, and the guy's like, no, this should be breaking your arm right now. So I think also maybe for me, when I see arms being twisted back, I don't think anything of it. So it could be that because I have a little bit more mobility, it didn't look like it would hurt, whereas with someone else, maybe it actually would. Like, there is that fairness to it, because the one guy who was showing me was a black belt, and he was like, I feel bad. Like, if I move any more, like, your arm should be ripped out of its socket now. And I was like, well, just go further. And he's like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And I was like, all right, well, I don't feel anything. So
you are Gumby.
That. Yeah, my arms are Gumby. Like, did the submission move look good to you, or did it come off like a flat submission move?
It was awkward because when I think of submission, I think of the greats now.
Yeah.
Sabre Jr., Gresham to a certain extent, Daniel Garcia, Bryan Danielson. Yeah. It just didn't. There's something about it, and also with AEW, you would have thought by now, especially with pandemic time, their camera work would have gotten better. So now that there's a crowd, you would think, but I don't think it has. I think it's still stagnant.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, but apart from that move, just looking to me confusing, I thought that otherwise it was all, and even the idea of winning by submission I liked. I just was trying to figure out what the fuck that move was supposed to be hurting, because it didn't look good or tight or anything like that. So I was just kind of like, bad camera angle. I bet if they had just gone slightly to the side, I would have thought it was vicious. But yeah, good match overall. I liked it. Splinter Fox coming through saying ding dong hello.
Ding dong hello.
He missed it. Ninja Mac was in the chat earlier. He always misses when we get the people come through. And I tell him, I've been saying, you never know who's going to pop up when and who's going to be listening.
Episode 1.
Yep, been saying this in episode 1.
Yeah, a lot of you don't know who's listening.
You just don't know. So, I mean, and there's also, you can be critical and not be an asshole at the same time. I think that's what it is. At the very least, like, when I really don't like something, at least we can all laugh about, like, okay, I don't like it. It doesn't mean nobody likes it. It's just, you can't win
like
them all from everybody every time. It's like Delaware. No one wants to live in
Delaware. Nobody likes Delaware.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know.
Yeah, so you can also be respectful and not like a thing. And so, I mean, so it's just a testament. Guys, you don't know who's going to pop up. Ninja Mac came in and tried to bet me. I think it means he wants to fight, which means next time I see him at GCW, I got to sucker punch him. I don't want to. I have to now. It's code of honor.
Well, if I see him before when GCW is in San Francisco, I think he is on the card. I'm like, what was this bet?
Yeah.
And I will get it on video. Like, what was his bet?
Yeah, what is this?
You know,
what is this?
Marsh said he would ref a match for you and he would cheat for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's saying something. That's saying something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I don't even think I'll say about the program. I think that the Eddie Kingston Jericho program was great. The only thing I would say, apart from the one thing, I think that it'd have been nice if Eddie Kingston had dug his heels in a little more on some of the verbal abuse. Like, I felt like he left a lot on the table as far as being mean to Jericho or calling him out on shit. I felt like if anybody could do it and get away with it, it'd be Kingston. And I felt like there was a few promos where he just was a little soft on Jericho where he could have dug in. But that could have also been like a towing the line the right way.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a huge dig. It's not saying like he did it bad. Maybe it's just because in my mind, even the guy being the heel or whatnot, I was like, come on, Eddie, get him. Take him to task, you know? So I think if I could change anything about the entire story, it would just be a little more bite to Eddie Kingston on some of those things. So,
was anyone surprised about Jeff Hardy? Because I definitely was not.
that is not for a whole nother program.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
get to that.
That's
Sorry.
Yeah, we're getting
Sorry,
there.
sorry.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So we will move it on, though. Great program as far as that goes. Do you want to do like we've done on some pay-per-views where we do the pay-per-view and the Fallout and just kind of wrap up Dynamite and Revolution together? Because we can definitely do that. So let's do that. So the Fallout of Kingston, because I'll also say this, as far as all the other stuff that we skimmed through, there was no Fallout I even watched. I didn't see anything with House of Black, Penta, or Redbeard on Dynamite. But the Kingston Jericho, so that moves into Dynamite. And Jericho comes out there. He says, I didn't shake his hand, this and that. And I didn't mind any of that either. The whole aftermath of the match there I thought was done pretty well. Jericho being a little punk about it, leaving. So I would say that the beatdown after the promo on Dynamite ran a bit long.
Yeah.
They were beating him down for a long time. That could have been shortened, I think. But outside of that, you have Jericho. They ultimately, Santana Ortiz comes out. 2.0's out there with Garcia. They all start beating up each other. Then Jericho takes the bat and hits Santana Ortiz. So now the inner circle's demolished. And now he joins with 2.0. Daniel Garcia. Jake Hager comes back out, which I completely forgot he was still at the company. He comes back out to continue to be a Jericho lackey because that's where he's comfortable. That's what he wants to do. And Jericho announces that he's forming a new faction called the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Jazz? Okay.
Jazz.
Okay.
And all that jazz.
Sure.
Yep. The Jericho Appreciation Society. I don't know if it's like if he's working us, but I feel like that Jericho has a way of, because people talk about how he's constantly reinventing himself, right? And I think that went to his head immediately when people started pointing it out. And I do think that there is a certain point of Jericho reinventing himself and trademarking so much that he's almost become a parody of reinvention. And I feel like he keeps lowering the bar with reinvention at this point. But a fucking team called the Jericho Appreciation Society just immediately turns me off from any interest whatsoever. But I thought the program with Eddie went well. Leading into the beatdown thing I thought went well. The idea of Ortiz and Santana teaming with Eddie goes well. Daniel Garcia 2.0 and Jake Hager with Jericho just was a huge oily fart. Especially considered that Daniel Bryan cut a promo with Moxley specifically mentioning Daniel Garcia as someone he wants to bring on in pupil.
Yeah.
Like, if you're also Daniel Garcia and you got the chance to work with Moxley, Daniel Bryan, and William Regal as your mentors, and then you end up with 2.0 and Jericho and Hager, you gotta be like, fuck. I've made some bad choices. Like, if in my mind, if I gotta pick one, I know exactly where I'm going.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
That name is awful. I don't know whose idea it was, but no.
It's a terrible.
God
And there's
awful.
already a T-shirt that looks terrible too. Spinner Fox does say, if you try to punch Ninja Mac, he goes, LOL, you will swing and Ninja will untie your shoes and Ninja vanish in a flash. Dude, he would untie my shoes and retie them together and then be sitting on my head before I realized. The dude moves like that.
Yeah. Wear Velcro shoes.
Ooh, that's a good call. Velcro shoes. See?
Or slip-on.
Game plan. He also says, I seen that coming a mile away on Jericho heel turn. Oh, yeah, for sure. That was telegraphed for sure.
Yeah.
He goes, damn it, why Garcia had to join that and not the other stable. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like, oh, come on.
No sense.
Okay, Grim Reaper says this. Society just fits in with, quote, collective, club, house, varsity, triangle, order, friends. Like, when you think about the other names of the factions, having society does work, but Jericho Appreciation Society doesn't have to be it. I think you could even, let's see, if you had the Inner Circle before and now you're on Jericho's thing, you could be like Top Card Society, Top of the Card Society. You could even do like, because they have like the Millionaires Clubs back in TNA. You can do some sort of a Top of the Food Chain Society if you want. Like, I mean, you could do something that's not Jericho Appreciation Society. Because I'll be honest, I'm not joining a society that's named after a specific dude.
Well, you know what it sounds like to me? This should show you my age. You know the cartoon The Rescuers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Rescue Aid Society? I had that when he said that it's the Jericho Society, all of a sudden I had that song in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So,
Been a big fan of Monterey Jack ever since that show, for the record.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you. One thing I hope that we get out of this is that since he got a lot of boos, maybe Judas is done. Thank God, please.
What music do you think they would go to? Because he's only had Judas in AEW. Do you think he has a new Fozzy song? You know what he does? That Fozzy song for the Jericho Cruise, I bet you they use that.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
I'll
would
be honest. I liked the song.
Good song.
I felt bad about it. I'm listening to it and I was all like, I'm going to keep watching this video because I'm kind of digging this Fozzy song right now. And I feel terrible about that. So if he did that one, that would work.
Yeah.
And then he gets the royalties he wants too.
Yeah. I feel that Jericho and Fozzy did a great, when they do their cover show on the cruise, that's always the best one. He did some really great covers. So that was very exciting. I will say that.
Well, karaoke's always fun.
Yep.
Spinner Fox says, I mean, it's karaoke for him. Spinner Fox says, as a matter of fact, one of my favorite karaoke nights I've ever had in my life was going with the professional musician who sang a bunch of like rock songs. And then he got there and he was just having so much fun singing John Denver and Nickelback and stuff. And I loved it. And his voice was so good that you're just kind of like, God damn, man, he makes John Denver rock.
That's like every place in Honolulu.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but that is like, oh my God. Singers in Honolulu, amazing. Yeah. Doesn't matter, like, because I always hung out with locals. But it didn't matter where you went. They were just, you always had people where you're like, oh my God, when's your album coming out?
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Marco Stunt did karaoke on the boat, and that was great.
Oh, he's so
This little show he did with Frankie Kazarian on guitar was great.
Yeah, he has a great voice.
Very good singer. Spinner Fox does say, I do like 2.0. Oh, he goes, Garcia fucked up. There needs to be a change to that stable. Yeah, that's what I think. Garcia should have moved. You know what? Maybe you could even do that. I bet you could do a cool story with that. He could be the first one to break away, and you can have Moxley and Daniel Bryan and William Regal sway him away. He does say, I do like 2.0 with Jericho, 2.0 the fit with Jericho. He goes, reboot of LAX, but who will join LAX? They're down a person to face Jazz. Do you think you bring back Hernandez? Or do you do the Homicide? They teased Homicide once before.
I'd see Homicide.
Yeah, I could see Homicide making it. Because he's come out once.
Now, obviously, if they bring a woman, Diamante. Obvious choice.
All right. Well, moving on. The AEW World Tag Team Championship, Jurassic Park versus Young Bucks versus Redragon. I didn't watch this match, man. It came on.
I
I
watched
turned it off.
Unfortunately,
There was nothing about this I was curious about.
it was your typical jokey kind of match because I really don't take Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy seriously.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Because Jungle Boy's putting all the work in, and Luchasaurus, sorry, birthday boy, you ain't doing much. And when you do, it's kind of, not that great. So, honestly, like, the only thing that was great for me is Bobby Fish makes me laugh because he's so animated when he's, waiting to tag in. So it's kind of great.
Yeah.
It just only purpose it has is to really further that Young Bucks, Red Dragon, Adam Cole thing, to progress that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it really was. Because honestly, like it didn't make sense to have all of a sudden 2 battle royals for this. You didn't need to have all of that. So
yeah, I thought it was a mess getting there to begin with, and I wasn't interested in it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spinnerbox does agree with you about the LAX stuff. Said, and it said they put the title on Jungle Express too late. They did for Hangman. I haven't agreed. I agree absolutely, and I also feel like that they've hung too tightly to Jungle Express, Jurassic Express, and not allowed Jungle Boy to be the single star he could be. But I feel like that partly is the same kind of narrative we keep seeing with Tony's like 4-year out booking plan. He doesn't make room to pivot and to grow new stars at a faster rate than he previously anticipated, right? Like, because in his mind, Hangman Page was going to be ready in 4 years. Yeah. But actually what it turned out is he was the hottest he ever was the second they started and needed to be their first champion to make a huge splash, and maybe reverse that order instead of saying, because it would have thrown everything off for him because he had this plan. And so what ended up happening was it was all cold as it kind of went because it was just this obvious plan. So, yeah. And Christian said, or Splinterfax says, Christian needs to turn on Jungle Boy already. Sure. Well, I guess I'm just not invested in their story enough to really weigh in on that.
No. And, besides, like, Christian had other things to do that evening. So, which I don't agree with. That should have been Ethan Page, but,
Yeah. Do you want to just move on to the next match? I don't have anything to say about these people, and I don't remember anything from Dynamite from.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Oh, you know what? I fast forwarded that stuff too. There was a thing with them on Dynamite. I didn't watch that either. So, ladder match, Face of Revolution. We had Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, Christian Cage. I'll be honest, I didn't watch this one either. So this one's all you.
You did not watch it.
No. There was no way I was gonna watch a mess
well,
like this.
You know what? To be honest with you. I was kind of shocked.
I was shocked that Wardlow got the win, and I was really happy for him because that was the guy I wanted to win the most. Him or Hobbs? Hobbs I was really happy with.
But whatever. No, but what I really liked about it is there were certain moments of it that can, I think, for the future, will be very interesting to see. I'm liking that they're really going to push Keith Lee and Hobbs and Starks in that direction. That's going to be a really great program. And you can't tell me that you don't love Ricky's impression of Keith Lee. I think it's hilarious.
It's amazing.
But
my concern is that inadvertently, and I know that it's no one's intention, I think that creates a bigger hole for Keith Lee to dig out of. Because he has a hard time talking in a way that people can connect with anyways. And when Ricky Starks comes out and goes, greetings and salutations, and just like shits on the way he talks already, he's already fighting an uphill battle trying to connect with people while talking in such a pompous tone and not intending to sound pompous, but he does.
Yeah.
That when Ricky mocks him, we all laugh and we go, he does sound like that, big dummy. That's kind of not what you want for a guy who just got there 3 weeks ago. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my only problem with it. But at the same time, if I had to pick who I want to be the bigger star in this moment, I'm picking Ricky Starks, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, honestly. But I think that with it all, it presents, I really can't wait to see Hobbs, Keith Lee. That I cannot wait to see. That's going to be a lot of meat, a lot of let's reinforce the ring. I'm really shocked that the ring did not break during this match at times. I don't know why the fuck Orange Cassidy was in there. He got injured, and I'm like, that was not a place for him to be.
Was he
so
injured? Like Orange Cassidy
yeah,
was injured?
the arm and his shoulder separated,
Fuck.
and he's going to be out at least for a couple months.
Wow.
So yeah, and then you have
you know
Trent is out too. So
without being a total asshole, that's probably going to be really good for Orange Cassidy, because I feel like a good 4 to 6 months away from the camera, when he comes back, it could feel like a big moment for a lot of the fans. They'll miss him.
Yeah, but now they have
right
Danhausen. So
right.
Danhausen, I'm gonna bitch about. Okay.
Okay.
Going on a rant. Okay. Why do you have to come out and I'm cursing these people? So stupid. Okay. Yeah, Ricky fell off the ladder. He jumped off the ladder. He didn't fall off. Okay. When Danhausen cursed him. But it's like you're cursing everybody. Okay. You're sitting under the ring this whole time. It's getting stupid. I mean, I know people love Danhausen. I don't get it. I know he's injured too, and he's probably not going to wrestle for a while. But because Orange is not in the picture, because Trent again is not in the picture, you don't see Chucky T a lot at all. We always see Wheeler Yuta, which I like Wheeler Yuta. Don't get me wrong. He's great and he's developed really well. And then you get Statlander. So, but that's not best friends. Best friends, when I think of them, it's Trent and Chuck Taylor. And then, Orange Cassidy kind of fits in because they're all friends and whatever. But everything else is just weird. Danhausen, I don't know why he's latched onto them. Is it because he has nothing to do? Then if you have nothing to do, why did you sign him? That's my problem. But I think the match was very interesting. Wardlow, Gray, he was not my pick to win because I thought we would see either, and I knew Keith Lee wasn't going to win. That's a given with that one. Christian was not going to win. That was a given. I thought it was really going to be, and not because I like Ricky Starks, I like Hobbs, but I thought there was going to be some tension there. They both were up. There's the ring. Like, I'm taking it. No, I'm taking it. And I thought that would have been great. But you saw Wardlow get it, basically slammed Ricky Starks into another ladder. And as I was saying earlier, his ass kind of got stuck because all of a sudden you see him and you see his head and neck bounce off of one of the other rungs, but he folded like an accordion. And his ass was stuck in the rungs. Because here you see Wardlow gets the ring and celebrating. And all the refs are over by Ricky, like, is he hurt? Is he stuck? What's going on? And he was still in that position. And I'm like, oh, poor guy. I'm like, how long did it take to get him out of there? Because, and the camera was trying not to show that. They have horrible camera angles and they kept showing it. And I was just laughing to myself, like, he's seriously stuck. It's his ass. But then I was like, ooh, he landed and hit his head and neck on the injured side. So I don't know. He says he's okay, but I don't know. That was an ugly thing. Wardlow could have had a little bit better control of that, especially when you're dealing with ladders and stuff. So, but all in all, it was a decent, ladder match. So, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more, and I'm glad Wardlow won.
Yeah. In the
Moving
chat,
on.
Student Fox does say, Baby Rock's major bump, though, ouch, like you were talking about. He said injured shoulder from the Lee toss to the ring is Cassidy. And he goes, oh, man, the Yuta versus Pac match, but damn it, they chant Danhausen the whole time and took away from the match. Like,
I know. That was awful. That's why Danhausen, it's like, that's a distraction.
It really is. When you're just going to be ringside and do, like, literal cursed voodoo stuff and then have people play into that in a weird way, like, I'm not saying I'm completely against supernatural stuff in wrestling, because obviously I'm a big fan of The Fiend and obviously love The Undertaker and Kane. I think there's a space for that that's very fun and entertaining. But I do think that there's a little something of going like, because part of Danhausen's character that makes it interesting is that it seems to be a person who knows they're not supernatural, behaving in ways trying to like, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's real, like, I mean, as much as you can say real versus fake supernatural, right? But like the Fiend character felt larger than life in a supernatural sense, where if it popped up and did things, it was scary and creepy. Danhausen's not scary and creepy. He's just pointing fingers and going, you're cursed. And so for someone to jump off a ladder and be like, oh, he cursed me, you're kind of like, okay, what are we doing? We're playing around. And that can be a distraction when it doesn't need to be.
And no
I
one
think there's definitely a place for Danhausen, but I don't know if it's cursing people in a ladder match. I don't think it's fair to the other people.
No.
You know?
It was weird. Like when he came out, I'm like, what the hell is this bull? This is like, I was like, okay, first of all, where'd you come from? And what the hell is this? Yeah. I mean, people like Danhausen. I mean, I still don't get it, even though he explained it to me.
Yeah.
That's just me. And he's, the new hot t-shirt, because everybody, it seemed like, was getting a Danhausen shirt.
Fox does say, I want to know if Danhausen was just signed to be a spokesperson and not to wrestle. I think he's still injured, I think is what Amanda was saying.
Yeah, he's still injured.
So he'll wrestle, but they have to kind of wait. And so I get part of it's keeping him on TV and getting him used to the fans and all that. But I do think that, I think they got to pick and choose those spots a little bit better. Because I think that he's going to be taken away from moments he doesn't need to.
And if you're trying to get homegrown stars, don't throw him in there, because again, like Wheeler Yuta is technically kind of a homegrown person. He's grown so much since he first debuted that now, I mean, he's on Dynamite more than other people who were signed. So, having that extra element, it's distracting. Yeah. I'd be like, dude, I don't want this.
But the next match we had, the AEW TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Tay Conte. Jade Cargill has Smart Mark with her. This match was fucking bad.
It was awful.
Tay Conte is really bad at this and needs more training, and I think they're doing her a huge disservice by constantly putting her in a spotlight that shows that. So I think she has so much charisma with the audience and so much good faith with the audience that when you put her in these, like, this was only a 7-minute match and it felt like 30 minutes. It was really tough. And I also don't think it's fair to Jade, because Jade is such a force and such a dominant presence. I really think that matches like this, for one, the two of them, I think they're capable of a better match than this specifically. I think the two of them together are capable of a better match than what they put on. I think that the problem, or I think that maybe, I mean, who the fuck, I don't know. If I had to guess a problem, I think that having Jade on all these Dynamites where she's got 7-minute matches and such anyways, she should be having like literally Goldberg style matches on TV that lead into a pay-per-view match like this that's 7 minutes to 10 minutes. And the whole time that we're in between those pay-per-views and she's having 30-second matches she doesn't have to think about, she could be training this one match. You know what I mean? Like, I think that she's taking on too much too soon, and she's not a natural, but it doesn't mean she's not capable.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, she's not Braun Breaker, where Braun Breaker comes out and you go, holy shit, how long has this guy been wrestling? Like, this is the second match. And you go, what? Like, it's just not who she is, which is also fine. There's a lot of incredible wrestlers who have become legends who struggled through all that stuff. I think they're doing them both a disservice by putting them in a situation like this. You know what I mean? Twitter Fox does say Jade match best part was the attire, but now Jade is going to face Anna again for real? Question mark. Yeah, that's what I mean. He goes, now Tay is going to face Paige. Is that an MMA match? I'm down, but a wrestling match. Why would you put Paige in the ring with Tay? Exactly. They're putting way too much trust in Tay, and she needs just as much help as everyone else. It's just I think that their focus is split. I know. So last week we had a really good conversation with Bishop on here from Terrible Wrestling Takes. We talked about people saying that Divas Era is coming back, and I said to say that, especially about the WWE, is really dismissive of a lot of the work that the women are putting in and what they're doing once the bell rings, right? That a lot of the Divas Era matches were women who weren't capable of putting on the matches that would be longer, and it took a while for them to get to the point where they had more. And the number of women who were capable of putting on those longer matches were outnumbered by the amount of models who were wrestling and putting on shorter matches, right? If I had to make an argument for Divas Era issues, Anna Jay and Tay Conti come to mind immediately. They are very much there because of their charisma and looks, and they're not getting it done in ring or on the mic, and they're still being highlighted as major stars. It doesn't do them a service to under-deliver that way when I know that they're all capable of more. Put your focus now on the women who've been doing it for a lot of years and are capable, the Thunder Rosas, Serena Deebs, and take the focus off of these women while you get them to a point where when they show up, they show out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, for me, this was very frustrating to watch. Knowing full well that roster is stacked with women who can put on matches better than this, but also knowing full well that these women have a star power about them, and I felt like this was so unfair. I was watching it and I felt bad for them. I was like, this isn't fair to them, because they should be seen in a better light than this.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Jade has gotten better, though. I know she's been working with Bryan Danielson. Regal, I think, is going to really kind of impact her, too, as well. And kind of, like, elevate her moveset a little bit. And even Serena Deeb, too.
Yeah.
So, definitely, I think Jade's got a really bright future. And it's already great that she's very comfortable on the mic. I'm sorry, Tay, that was it's so awkward.
Yeah.
And taking it fast forwarding to Dynamite with Sammy Guevara. Okay, that was not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. We know you're a couple. Okay, you don't have to come out in like whatever. But it seems like AEW really likes to highlight these couples. The only one they don't really do is Jungle Boy and Anna Jay. They're a couple, but they really don't do anything.
I don't know if they still are.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. But point of it is that, it was really done horribly. And it's not because at first I'm like, well, is it the English? What is it? And I think really honestly is there with her and even with Anna Jay to a certain extent, but Anna Jay is a little bit better, I think, with the mic, but they're working, I think, more on, the look and some of the wrestling. So it looks like it's not diva-esque. And I think that that's where it fails, because you have people who have good mic skills. Because I'm going to use example, Layla Hirsch. Okay. Yeah. English, not her first language, but Layla Hirsch can cut a good promo. Along with being a great technical wrestler. Yeah. And I think that because we've been seeing this out of her, and that match with Thunder Rosa is, I'm like, wow, I love watching Layla Hirsch. I mean, she's one to really watch. But I think that, they need to work on that, because especially if you're going to shove people like this on TV all the time, because that's what they do, then you got to give them the tools. Because when Red Velvet came out during on what was it, Dynamite, I was like, where the hell have you been? Oh yeah. And I'm like, what's going on? It's very discombobulated. So, and the women's division is not just like 4 or 5 people. Yeah. So,
Spinner Fox, you're always good to check me when I'm being overly harsh for no reason. My description of all of that, can you let me know if that was too heavy-handed, or at least maybe if I'm coming across correctly. He did say, though, in the chat that I say Paige will be the one to beat Jade, but I hope it's not for a long while. They need to reshuffle the babyface and heel on the women's side like they did for the male side. And where the hell is Ruby? Yeah, that's what I mean. This pay-per-view match should have been Ruby Soho versus Jade Cargill. They should have been working for the last 3 months behind the scenes, getting this match down perfectly. And then Tay Conti should have been one of these minute-and-a-half matches on Dynamite that Jade just barrels through.
I mean, producer lady here, I've said it before that they just don't seem to have a lot of patience or like ability to tease. It seems like, and I don't know if it's Tony or just everyone or whatever, but it's like they kind of just want to rush everything while everything's hot, and I kind of get that sense from what you're saying with the women that, like, it's nothing bad to be working on something, to be working to like deliver a really polished product or match, I should say. Yeah. You know, like I think about, you know, the talent that they have who, like you just said, like they've got people. It's just really, are people listening or do they care, you know, or is it just like it doesn't matter because the fans are going to love it anyway? Like I'm not really exactly sure what it is.
Yeah, are you shotgunning it, or you, like you said, are you being patient about it? Are you saying like, hey, we should put Tay and Jade together because people want to see that match? But are you putting forth any effort to make sure that match is going to be fantastic outside of what the performers are? Are you asking the performers to do more? Are you asking them to do less? Are you telling them to coach with someone specifically? Are you assigning the right agent? Like, there's a lot of work that goes into putting on a TV match that's not just put two people out there and do it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when you consider that, you know, Thunder Rosa trains with Jazz in Texas, like she's a trainer. So, you know, it's not, and of course, Serena Deeb, you know, been doing it forever training women. So it's like, you've got the talent, you've got the tools. Do you have the patience and know-how?
Yeah.
Or desire?
Spin Fox also says Martinez versus Jade. That's another one, but I would do that for like the next pay-per-view. I mean, like, do a pay-per-view cycle with Jade where she puts on that 10-minute match on pay-per-views only, and in between she's secretly every day working that match out with her opponent. And when you get her on Dynamite every week, it's just some random person getting squashed where Jade looks amazing and dominant. Give her that Goldberg run, because fuck it, why not? And give her these competitive matches on pay-per-views only so she can focus. So by the time she's been there a year or two, she's got it in the bag. He does say, Tony don't know how to handle the women's division. Give it to Regal. He goes, yeah, Deep is now stuck in limbo with Sheeta again. Great match, but too fast. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, I was sad for the talent more than I was anything else. So
yeah, and also,
go ahead. We'll move it along.
I think that some of the best women they have, they put in the background. Like, I'm sorry, I love Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter is incredible. Okay.
Yeah,
she's
good.
You know, in this I hate that storyline, but you know, she's kind of trapped in there. Abaddon, as weird as she is, that, you know, we don't even see her really anymore. She was on, I think, Dark or Elevation a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month and a half ago at most. But yeah, we don't see her, you know. And then I was talking about, you know, like Red Velvet. Now, Red Velvet's not the greatest, but, you know, I mean, there's a lot of women you don't see that, you know, they're signed. Kiera Hogan. Diamante. I mean, come on. I mean, there's like really good women you have, but if it's the same ones over and over, it's like, come on, dude. Like, I don't know. It's like, you're setting a precedence where it almost seems like you have to be banging one of the dudes to get time.
I mean, as a super casual viewer, I get really discouraged by only seeing like 2 or maybe 3 women on the advertisements when you've got like 10 men. And you're just like, what? Like, why? I know they're there, and like I said, you've got the talent. Like, not everyone's a beginner.
Yeah, 100%. Spinner Fox does say yes. Jamie versus Martinez on Rampage is going to be fire. Probably will. And he said, what is sad is Abaddon was in a cage for the meet and greet on Revolution weekend. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a gimmick. I don't think she was in a cage because she's a woman. I think she was in a cage because she's a demon.
Yeah, like that's what I would think. Like, it's a fun
Mm-hmm.
thing to take a picture with, you know, like if I was a big fan of hers, I'd be like, cool, it's a setup.
Or not even.
Yeah, just a fun gimmicky thing. I didn't. Plus, I mean, social distancing anyway is probably better. But either way, CM Punk versus MJF. I don't have a ton to say about this match because it kind of was what it was. I actually really like this match from beginning up until a point. I will say I wasn't a big fan of the thumbtack stuff because I just feel like that when they throw thumbtacks out, you end up getting really weird, gimmicky, goofy thumbtack spots in a match that didn't need it because it was already really serious to begin with. Like when CM Punk finally gets into the thumbtacks, he lands with his feet in the thumbtacks and then acts like his whole back is done up, but his back didn't touch him. But it was kind of, and then when MJF went in it, he did that cartoonish stop and then pause and oh no, and then falls back. And I was like, I don't need that in this. Apart from those couple spots, I didn't like MJF shouting for Wardlow over and over again, and then Wardlow coming out, and the whole finish I wasn't a big fan of. It was fine, I guess. I get that we also had to have Wardlow turn. Twitter Fox says he thought the best part was Wardlow turning. I think for the story, I get it. Wardlow had to do something. He had to turn. I thought MJF came off really weird and goofy and stupid in a situation where he hasn't really in the rest of the story. And I thought it was kind of lame. And I thought it was kind of lame when CM Punk grabs the ring and punches him with it, because I thought CM Punk's supposed to be better than MJF, and that's a bitch move, as a CM Punk might even say in a promo, like, do it without the ring. And then here he did it with the ring, and it's like, I get it. He's getting his comeuppance, and he's giving what he's getting kind of a deal. Like, I get kind of that. But I also thought, like, wouldn't it have been cool if CM Punk saw the ring, said, I don't need the ring, GTS, win, boom. Like, then I don't have to stoop to your level, but he did stoop to his level. And so I was kind of like, I didn't need that from the hero to stoop to the level. So, and I know we're getting to MJF versus Wardlow, which will be cool. And I did like the match all the way up until MJF screaming that, apart from those 2 thumbtack spots. If those 2 thumbtack spots were out of it, and if everything else happened with Wardlow was what it was, but then CM Punk didn't use the ring and did a GTS and threw the ring aside, I think I would have loved it top to bottom. Like, I'm not trying to complain. I'm trying to say very good match, really good storytelling, couple things that kind of pulled me away, but, you know, not everything's for everybody every time. He does say Spinner Fox versus MJF. MJF will cost him the TNT title match. Probably, yeah. I probably would have said no up until Dynamite, because Scorpio Sky getting the TNT title, I think he's going to have it for a little bit. If it weren't for that, I would say no way he'll take it off of Sammy.
Yeah.
But I think he's right. I think he will cost him the thing.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on it, Amanda?
Well, one thing I'm going to talk about the ring. What I thought was kind of a bummer. Okay. You went back to the Punk of old. That ROH Punk. You had your AFI going on. Yep. God, that was a horrible fucking... the internet wrestling community kills me with this crap all week. Who cares? Okay? Who fucking cares? You know? I mean, and of course the gear he was wearing, you know, and it was very symbolic, because it's like, if you were to look at CM Punk ROH, he would never do a bitch move like that. So that was kind of disappointing with it. And but it was a very good match. It was better than I thought it was going to be. In my secret heart of hearts, and it's going to happen eventually. I was hoping Colt Cabana would come out, but it's gonna happen, because who else is there?
Probably not gonna.
That's the natural thing that's gonna happen. And when it does, y'all, episode 1, me, better have front row for that, Colt Cabana, if you're listening, because I'll be the only one in my I Star of David Colt shirt or whatever. I'll bling whatever. I'll be the only one, and that's fine, because I can cheer for a whole arena. It's okay. So, and I have to be on hard cam so people can see the fire I bring. But anyways, but no, the Wardlow thing, yeah, I'm like, MJF is just a spoiled brat. Brat didn't get his way. That's how I like to figure it as. And then it was very fitting, because then once you saw that in the ring and Wardlow, you're like, yeah, that's beyond his turn. And it's already predictable on what's going to happen. He's going to get screwed over for his title match. Yeah. You probably get 2 of them, because for some reason it's going to be not fair or whatnot. But when you fast forward to his, I guess it was a promo, I don't know. It was kind of awkward on Dynamite.
Fast forwarded through Wardlow's promo on Dynamite, I'll be honest.
It was kind of bad. And the only reason why I say that is because you had this guy who wasn't talking, barely said maybe like, I don't know, in this whole time, maybe 10 words, maybe at most. And he has this like eloquent, like, you know, blah, 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 you know. And I was like, no. You're giving him the Luchasaurus treatment, where Luchasaurus talked before, and now he just grunts.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Continuity, people, continuity. But definitely it was a great one. I liked seeing Max, bleeding and getting that loss. But of course, again, it should not have been by the ring. It should have been something that's because there was so much nostalgia. It shouldn't have been that way.
Yeah.
So I guess really Tony doesn't watch ROH.
And
that library.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Tony has a single bit of input on CM Punk or MJF segments. I don't think so at all. I think that's one of the reasons why they've been as good as they have, is because I think he is so hands off for them, which makes me think that's all their idea. So
I want to agent Colt Cabana and CM Punk. I really do.
God, it's not fucking.
It'll be the most epic story ever.
It's not. They're not doing it.
They're going to do it.
They're not doing it.
People want it.
No one wants
it. It might not be in their mind right now, but when they think about it, they want it. And especially because I finally read the Esquire interview. And the way they talk about Cabana is very politically correct. But still, same thing. It didn't go into the nitty gritty of whatever. But anyways, we're going off the track.
But Twin Fox does say, I'm getting tired of that damn ROH shit. It needs to stop. You bought them out, not them buying the AEW out. Yeah, it is a little weird to celebrate a company that went out of business in a way. I mean, not always, but it depends on how you do it. I think they're going real heavy with the ROH stuff, which I said it would. I said they would.
Yeah.
He has to talk about FTR firing Tully. He says the ring should be more like the Money in the briefcase, make it mean something to hold the ring instead of using it as a foreign object. I think that's the poker chip is supposed to be the Money in the briefcase. And then he also says now with Jeff in AEW, you'll get Jeff and Punk way before you get Colt. And I think that's true too.
Probably.
Where everyone wants to see.
But I think there's a lot of things that are going to happen even before Punk. So I wonder now what's next for Punk.
Yeah, a lot of people think Paige. A lot of people think he's going to go for the title.
I don't think he should.
I'll be honest. I don't have future concepts for Punk. This happened. It did its thing. I don't even like that Punk won it. I don't know what that does for MJF to lose like that. But
his world's coming down. That's what it is.
Sure.
Wardlow's ditching him. Obviously the Pinnacle's dying off. Who does he have? He has Sean Spears, your favorite wrestler.
Yeah, so
Nothing
I don't know how that
so,
helps MJF is what I'm saying. MJF's seeing the world collapse around him for 3 years in the top heel you have. I don't know how that helps him. I would think that you'd be doing the opposite with MJF. Build what seems to be an unstoppable force, and that way when he takes the title off your champion, now it's like, well, how the fuck is anyone going to take him down? Because he's got this huge everything around him. That's what I'm saying. It's the opposite of what I would think. You're stripping him down into nothing and taking away everything that protects him. So if he were to get a title shot, you go, well, he'll probably lose it. He loses a lot of the big matches. People cheat. They don't like him. And you know what I mean? I would be doing the opposite. I don't know what it does to tear down MJF at this point.
And you tear him down and you build him back even stronger.
Maybe.
That's what I think.
Jericho Appreciation Society.
Good Lord. Again, I don't want a musical.
Yep.
Please no. For the love of God.
You get Paige versus Cole, then Cole wins it, and Omega comes back. I couldn't be less interested in that, but that's kind of the story of their title right now. Anything else you want to say about Punk or MJF?
No.
Yeah. Then we do get to the AEW Women's Championship. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. I'll be honest. Thunder Rosa was dragging Britt through this match.
Yeah, kind of carrying her.
Carrying her this whole thing. It was kind of obvious to me, where I was watching going, oh,
yeah,
Britt can't keep up. You know what it reminded me of?
Yeah.
It reminded me of the GCW match where her against Tony Deppen. And I went, oh, crazy. Thunder Rosa's significantly better than Tony Deppen. She's helping Tony get through this match. I felt the same thing watching this, where it wasn't crazy, but I was just kind of God damn, their champion really is struggling here to do the match. Not to in the struggle sense and win the match, but
yeah,
Thunder Rosa's overcompensating to get this match to happen the way it's meant to happen. And
yeah.
Thunder Rosa is just incredible, and I felt like this was the moment to do it. I know that they want to do something that might be more poetic, and obviously she's getting that match in San Antonio next week.
Yeah.
They're going to put her in a cage, and I get it. It's going to be 2 weeks removed from the pay-per-view on free TV. I just feel like that the concept of Tony potentially making the wrong decision here could be seen as doing a make good later, or they could be seen as fabricating a pop for Thunder Rosa, who doesn't need it. I think the reason you do it on Revolution and not San Antonio is you prove she doesn't need the hometown pop.
Yeah.
You prove that even in Miami, that the crowd is behind her. That's why you do it there. When you wait for hometown, you go, oh, they want that hometown reaction. It's like when Shelton Benjamin won a match in his hometown on Raw the other week. It was a random match that didn't have anything to do with story, but it was Shelton Benjamin in a match in his hometown to get a big reaction. That's what it's going to come across like, is like, oh, let's do it in San Antonio where we know she can get a positive reaction because we're unsure of it. It comes off as being unsure. And I think with someone like Thunder Rosa, you don't have to be unsure.
No.
Yeah.
You let the crowd be behind her the way they just so clearly are, and you do it in a place that people wouldn't expect it. I don't know. I get it. Poetic, a year removed from the last match. Now it's in a cage. It's in her hometown. It's going to be a nice moment. Flowers, confetti. But I feel like it would have meant more to do it in Miami on a pay-per-view. And then she can just defend it in San Antonio and get the same big reaction.
Yeah, and you could tell right after her loss, the crowd was just a little deflated.
Oh, yeah. The crowd was not happy about it. They weren't even booing Britt. They just, just gut punch. They were quiet. They weren't booing. They weren't cheering. Britt got the win, and everyone just went, oof. And I remember just watching the crowd, and everyone just crossed their arms.
Yeah.
They were shaking their head. They're like, what the fuck? Like, they just...
Yeah. After the fourth, interference, and people were like, really?
Like, why are we doing this?
Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Spinner Fox does say that match pissed me off, but when they announced the title eliminator, she better fucking win it in San Antonio, damn it, in a cage. But if she lost, I'm fucking done. I think they're going to give it to her because I think it's going to be too cute not to.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be the cutest thing. Give her a win in her home country or her hometown. A year removed from the Lights Out match. Like, it's too cute. It's cherry on top. I get it. I wouldn't call it long-term storytelling either, because it's just waiting a year. It's not the same as telling a story for a year. No. But also, I think that the crowd was ready. This is another moment where it's all like, Tony's going to do it when he wants to and not when the crowd's ready for it. Sometimes you just pivot and say, the crowd needs it now. You do it now. You know what I mean?
But on the flip side, I partly blame the fan base because I feel like there's no critique that they're okay with. Yeah. You know, so it's like, well, if you guys are just blindly going to support everything that happens, and you kind of can't bitch about, when it doesn't happen.
Yeah. So, I will say I love the new title.
Yeah.
The new women's title looks incredible.
Very
so
classy.
Much better than the previous versions. It does remind me of that Lucha Underground Azteca title. The one that was all blocked.
Oh, yeah.
It reminded me of that one, and I thought that was pretty cool. He says, Spinnerfox says, I want an HBK Rosa title run. He goes, putting the title on Rosa now for the West Coast traveling is a Tony business move. He goes, fight everybody and all the tough challenge. Yeah. I don't think you're going to see... I mean, when you think of the NWA Women's Championship, Thunder Rosa is probably the strongest champion they had. She did the same thing. I don't think she's going to not do it there. I bet you also see the AEW title on Mission Pro. Not gonna lie, after the match I was not invested in the rest of the pay-per-view. Yeah, it deflated a lot of people. He goes, new title and everything should have been the move. Give the title to Rosa and have a homecoming party. Have Rosa off until then. Yeah, do something like that. Have a celebration. Have her come out and do the thing. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I just think that it was a bad move not to give her the title here because it would have meant a lot and it would have shown a lot of trust in Thunder, and I think she's earned that and deserves that. And I think by keeping it on Britt for a cutesy moment, I don't love it.
Tony does that.
Yeah.
So, because if I'm not mistaken, Starks win the FTW belt off of Cage in Austin, where he lives.
Yeah.
Because he had the crowd support, because this was at a time when no one gave two shits about Ricky Starks.
That's what I mean. I think that I mean, I know there's that trope that nobody wins in their hometown in wrestling. And I think Tony's trying to do the opposite. Everyone wins in their hometown in AEW. Except MJF beat CM Punk twice in Chicago, but like,
well, wrong person
way.
beat him in Chicago.
Either way,
Wrong person.
but then I think that there's also a point where like you're getting too cute for your own good. And if you only have them win the big match in their hometown, yes, it's a cool moment for the hometown, but also comes off as fabricated. You want that home crowd reaction. Like having CM Punk return to wrestling in Chicago was strictly to get the Chicago crowd to respond that way, because they knew that crowd would respond louder than any other crowd. And I think that there's a little bit of bullshit to anchoring your reaction based off of city because you want to play it safe. I think that you make the move, you trust Thunder, you trust the crowd, that they love her, and you do the move in Miami. But, whatever.
Yeah.
Fox says, I even tweeted Tony the Bird for the Rosa match. He goes, he wanted Britt to have the new title like Sheeta had the bigger title before she lost it. Yeah. Because I think the other thing is that it's too telegraphed when they make a big change to a title and be like, well, that's for the next person. I think he's trying to be all like, well, you never know. But, like, you fucking know. Like...
You're so predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Fox says Rosa having an open challenge for the AEW title would help bring in Athena and Knox. Yeah. I mean, I think we'll do. Mm-hmm. I think once she gets the title, I think it'd be stupid for them not to give her the title in San Antonio. I think you're gonna see some really cool stuff with her as a champion. I think it's gonna be the best title we're gonna have.
Yeah, her and Ruby Soho would be great.
Yeah.
One little program. I think that would be a great one. Yeah. I would like to see her eventually with Deeb again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of really great potential. But with like hometowns, the one, if anything, because they haven't announced them coming up north to Northern California. If they don't fucking treat fucking Will Hobbs like a goddamn king and do something special for him.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tony. Seriously. Mm-hmm. Because that man is beloved in the area. No matter where it is, if it's East Palo Alto to whatever, he is beloved. Up to Sacramento, everybody loves Will. And, he didn't get a proper goodbye. So, definitely that's going to be one to really, really watch.
Yep. Yeah. And then we had Thunder Rosa against Layla Hirsch on Dynamite, which was a fine match. But yet again, Thunder Rosa's carrying someone through the match. I think it's just part of the reason why Thunder needs to be the champion. She's clearly carrying the division through their matches to get them good matches.
Yeah.
Give her the title because that's what the champion should be doing.
Yeah, Layla Hirsch was good though. I mean, yes, she did.
Yeah.
Rosa did, carry her a little bit, but she was really good.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
It's the struggles of being the best.
Mm-hmm.
That brings me to what I referred to the main event because I turned off the pay-per-view after this. American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. Really cool match, really good fight. They did the thing. Yeah. I think we got a little more bloody than we needed to in this pay-per-view in general, but it is what it is. They telegraphed that they were gonna bleed. They had to because he said, "I don't team with nobody I don't bleed with."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I liked the match itself, and I thought even at the end, the way that the finish was with that weird count, and Daniel Bryan looked really upset at the ref. There was a moment where I was all like, "Oh shit, did the ref fuck up the finish?" Because I wasn't sure. And then once Regal came out, I went, "Oh no, they didn't fuck up the finish. It was supposed to be what looked to be a fucked up finish to get Regal out." And so Regal comes out, he yells at Moxley and Danielson, he slaps them both in the face, and he says, "We need to sort this place out and let's work together," and all that stuff. And I was like, fuck yeah, if we're here for Moxley and Bryan Danielson being teamed up with Regal as their not quite their mouthpiece, but like the overall like mentor of it all, then fuck yeah, I'm there for that.
Oh yeah. I was so excited to see him come out, and also I loved him slapping both of them. Like, grow the fuck up, Yeah, but
that was.
Then again,
sorry,
it was great. But then again, on Dynamite when she was talking to Shivani, it almost was like, okay, here's my friend of like 21 years, Brian, and then here's this guy. Yeah, that was a little bothersome to me, but whatever. I love Regal, so I'm really glad that he's gotten in a very good position. There's a lot of people who can really learn a lot from him.
Yeah,
if they listen,
men and women.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say?
I like that. I mean, I didn't I didn't know Regal was going over. So that's one case where I was like pleasantly surprised because, you know, the internet didn't ruin it for me and they didn't advertise he was going to be there. Right. So it was like, it seemed like a genuine surprise for everyone. And I just think they need to do more of that. Like, don't announce everything. Like the dirt sheet shouldn't have, you know, everyone talking about every appearance that you're gonna come up with.
Yeah, this was a good moment because they let it be.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Got anything else?
I don't have anything else in that match. Like, I mean, it just, I like to talk about stuff I really like, but I couldn't tell you any specific moments or moves or spots or anything specifically to mention.
It just was, it flowed beautifully.
Yeah.
You know, that's what, if you're not picking out certain spots, I think that's when you know the shit is good overall.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Spin Fox does say, pisses me off that they're skipping Arizona and New Mexico. Tony's a dick. Tony does not know how crazy those states are with wrestling.
Yeah.
Regal comes in like a dad at work all day, catching his boys fighting in the house and slapping them around.
Yeah.
He goes like, how Swerve's name was in big bold letters on the contract. Oh, yeah. Tony Schiavone goes to announce Swerve and holds up a clipboard that says Swerve real big and then goes, what are we doing? And everyone's like, oh, is this where Swerve comes out?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. But, I mean, the only thing I thought was weird is they called it like this big surprise signing, but like 2 weeks ago, everyone was all like, Isaiah Swerve Scott has signed with AEW.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't know why they have
or
to
Swerve
announce.
Strickland, or Swerve the Realist is what he goes
Realist,
by now.
yeah.
Swerve the Realist.
But they're calling him Swerve Strickland. That's what Shivani was calling him on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Which is cool.
Make up your mind. What are you doing? But at least he's doing the whole Swerve's house thing.
Yeah.
Now, again, repeating with like things in WWE, we're getting Nice and Swerve again.
Yeah, I do not need.
And they made it clear to tell you that this happened at the other place.
Yes.
So I was a little annoyed by that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
if
don't
you love 205 Live. Here's the thing: if you talk shit on 205 Live and are excited about this match, make up your mind.
Yeah, casual viewer again, I don't want to think about any other company than what I'm watching. Like I don't. I don't care what it is, what brand. When I go to a GCW show, they're not constantly talking about any other product. And I'm invested in what I'm watching.
Oh yeah, GCW is great with that. Because also, I think GCW does a perfect job with it because they do enough callbacks to their old stuff. They get their stars like the Cardonas and X-Pacs that make you remember other things, but they don't make it such a consistent priority to mention it throughout the everything.
Yeah, you're not going to harp on it to the fact that you're like, oh, well, what about that other product?
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't have to think about anything else except what's in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, how pissed did we get at MLW for putting on that fucking
I was pissed.
podcast in the middle of their Fightland?
Yes.
They put on some podcast where all like, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's contracts might be coming up. Are they going to re-sign with WWE? It's like, I don't give a fuck, man. Talk to me about Hammerstone.
Yeah, I wanted to see their talents promos. Like anything other than another distraction, another company. Like I don't need that. This is your specific time slot where you can show me what you're all about. Yeah. So don't throw me off.
And shouldn't you be so goddamn good you don't even think about the others, right? Hey, no, we're just us doing us, and we're just this goddamn good. How can you even think about other places? But when every single promo you have go like, remember over there? Like, come on.
No, I don't know because I don't watch that shit, you know? So, no, but, I mean, but it, for me, and I had said this before in general to people, when we finally in Northern California got Swerve, it was Swerve versus Atlas, and that, I swear, amazing match. It is for free on YouTube from All Pro Wrestling, APW. Nobody knew who he was, who Swerve was. And these are people who I know watch Lucha Underground. Okay.
Swerve and Ricky, it'll be cool to see in AEW.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great.
Oh, yeah. But that one, oh, God, I love that one from Inspire Pro. But also, I think that when you have people like a talent like this, Keith Lee in his own way too. I mean, you know, people really don't know the magnitude of like with what Keith Lee has really done, you know? And I think that if you're throwing them into something jokey or referring to some other place, you know, That's where you're getting the IWC, I think, clawing at each other. And I'm like, I don't want to see this crap. Thank goodness my timeline didn't have any of this, because I filtered so much of it that I don't see it. But
and also, how weird is it that people, so like when I watch wrestling and someone I'm watching it with goes, why is they coming out to different music now? Why are they coming out to different music? I go, oh shit, you don't know. I'm so excited to get the opportunity to teach you this thing. Yeah. And I get excited. I go, oh, because this, and this, and I teach them. Yes. Where in IWC, they go, you don't know. Yeah. You don't fucking know. Yeah, the gatekeep. Are you stupid? You have guys like CM Punk. Yep. Literally on Twitter, where someone says, what is the significance of this? And he said, because it's great storytelling. You would know that if you had a brain. Thanks, CM Punk. That really helps unite the wrestling fan base, as opposed to coming at it with a point of compassion and teaching. Let me tell you why it's important. Aren't you happy that you're a little more knowledgeable than you used to be? Instead, he comes in with, you are brainless and stupid, and I'm amazing. That's exactly why the IWC is the way that it is. Because their heroes are also dickholes about teaching people stuff. How can we not be happy to teach someone something we love?
No, I mean, my hero's Natty Neidhart, so she wouldn't respond like that. I'm just saying. Never do that. She's a heart, why would she?
She's a Neidhart.
She's got pedigree right there, man.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, someone like me who didn't. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I didn't grow up with wrestling. Like I just didn't. I wasn't exposed to it. So I would be that person to have that innocent, like, what am I watching? What is this? Yeah. Like, I don't get it. Tell me.
Yeah. Who's this person?
Tell me so I can get it and connect and be, into what everyone's into, or, at least be in the moment to figure it out.
Yeah. And I'll even give you, there are times where I'm all like, I'm too in the moment. And I was like, just let me have this moment. I will tell you when it's over.
Yeah.
What it is. I need to live in this moment for now because this is incredible. And then once it plays out, okay, here's what just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh my
it's
God,
exciting to get people on your side. Like, this divisive mentality is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. It's stupid. And it's like, what does it do? It just makes people, angry. It screws with people's mental health, because some people just can't separate. And I think that there's all sorts of problems with it. But what I want to say is, we all know Punk's a dick. If that didn't prove it to you people, I don't know what would. Yep. But if it was Team Cabana, he'd go out of his way to tell you what it was and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just saying.
Punk's apology was really like protective of himself too. He's all like, look, I was just responding to a guy who was being an asshole to other people too. So if you want to just let it drop, like, we could hug it out, whatever, cheers.
Yeah,
like,
it was
whatever.
like a sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, it was a sorry, not sorry. Fucking deal with it. And it's like, fuck off.
Again, for people that aren't familiar with you, I'm sorry. Other than, okay, you were really popular at your time. Yeah. Like, this is what I see of you. Like, this is my first impression. Yeah. And it's like, it's a huge turnoff for me.
Look, I wasn't really watching during CM Punk's run. And I had to catch up later, and I've never seen a single documentary, a video clip, an interview, or any interaction with him with anybody on Twitter or even on backstage that ever endeared me to him as seeming like a cool person. Yeah. 100% of the stuff I've taken in, I was like, this guy's an asshole. Like, why are people behind this guy?
And what's also kind of, what's funny to me is the first time I was really exposed to him was on WWE Backstage. Yeah. And there was a little quiz where it was the history, your wrestling history.
Yeah, no, it was just about Royal Rumble.
And it was with Baron Corbin, and it was with Paige, and he was failing a lot of it. Like, he didn't know the history. So it's kind of like, I flash back to that and I'm like, dude, no one was gatekeeping for that. And these are answers that I knew.
Yeah. Like, it was like not only recent stuff, but it was stuff when he was in, and then it was stuff from before he was in and stuff like. Yeah. You're just kind of like, so dude, you just don't pay attention because you don't give a shit and you don't care about it.
Yeah, it's kind of just weird to me.
Yeah. So
don't tell me you're back in love with wrestling when it's obvious, the things that you say.
I guess the paycheck's big enough. I mean,
look at all.
The paycheck, and he's in love with himself. That's what it is.
And also the T-shirt sales, because if you look at like on Dynamite or even with Revolution, if you were to scan the crowd, I think that the majority of the shirts now we're CM Punk.
Yeah.
And I'd say number 2 would probably be, and
RJ
this
City.
is
RJ City.
no,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
no. Like, why?
Because he's a baby.
Well, there's a lot of Danhausen popping in, but you'd see it's mostly CM Punk, and then you'll get little pockets of Join the Dark Order or Brody Lee shirt.
Yeah.
And then you get, I'll say Danhausen, and honestly, I don't think right now, like, you don't see people really wearing Young Bucks shit anymore,
No.
or Kenny Omega, you know. Oh, and now you see Adam Cole, the Bay one,
Oh yeah.
that Bay shirt or whatever, you know. So I mean, that's what you see, and it's sad, but it also is very telling. So that's what I like to wear, different shirts, and I like to dress them up. But that's just me, you know, because
some of this. Let me run through some of this. Spring Fox says they don't need anybody new. Stop signing more male talent, please. Damn it. I get that. He goes, let's face it, all companies are petty as fuck. Yeah, I'm all over it. But you know, I like the pettiness.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, too much talent getting signed. Spring Fox says he wants Swerve versus Sky before Baby Rock. Swerve Garcia, Swerve Darby. Yeah, there's gonna be some cool matches for sure. He goes, Amanda, we love Colt. Please stop. And then says she loves her friends. Splinter Fox says Punk is bipolar, talking shit on Twitter, cries like a little bitch about Brett careers getting cut short. Young Bucks page, I still see a lot. He sees them. Yeah, he did that whole thing afterwards where he's just like getting all choked up and emotional about how I wish I could give my career years back over to Brett. He deserves it more than me. And I was like, we all agree on that. So
yeah,
I wish also you could give it back.
I couldn't get through the crying. I was like, wait, what is happening? I was like,
also
okay.
Couldn't help himself but to talk shit there too.
Yes.
Because he said it's bullshit that we see these people go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And it's not Bret Hart, and he's fucking talking shit on Goldberg. Yeah, all the Goldberg shit is bullshit. I'll give you that. But at the same time, like, he can't help himself. He can't not talk shit for the sake of saying anything about anyone.
Yeah, the bitterness is just also
too much.
A bit. It's way too much. It's a turnoff for me even to get interested in who you are. I'm just like, okay, dude, you're sour. I get it. I'm moving on to the next star.
Yeah.
Like.
Speaking of moving on, though, there were 2 more matches here. I didn't watch either of them. The 6-man Tornado tag match. Matt Hardy, El Idolo, Isaiah Cassidy versus Sting, Darby, and Sammy Guevara. And then there was the main event with Adam Page and Adam Cole. The six people trios, whatever. They keep referring to trios matches. It makes me think they're going to come out with a trios belt. But also, this leads into Dynamite, in which Jeff Hardy makes his big return. So we can talk about all of that in this one big lump right here.
Yeah.
Did you see the match?
I did.
Did you like it?
It was shitty.
Okay.
I will say Sting got snow, so that was exciting. Reason why I say it was shitty is it didn't need to happen. And especially on that order on the card. I wouldn't have put it there. It did not belong where it was put. And
you know what? I did see some of this because I saw Sting go through the tables and I saw Darby miss the coffin drop.
And you saw Sting climb up that the thing, I don't want to call it a balcony, but you know, from that one thing. I had a heart attack when I saw that. I'm like, is he supposed to be doing this?
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
There was no stunt. Yeah, like last time.
Yeah,
so
that's true too. But there's also no need. No one's going to talk about Sting's career and talk about what an icon he is and goes, I remember that one time he jumped through a bunch of tables. Like,
AEW? Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, AEW will definitely be a note on his career where he finished it up. Obviously, it's what he's doing. Where he had his final run where he was able to do matches and was willing to risk himself at a higher danger than Vince was was willing to allow him to risk.
Mm-hmm.
But I think him like diving off of shit and jumping through tables for the sake of it, those aren't going to be in the highlight reel, man. Like, it'll be part of the conversation. Oh yeah, he was in AEW and he did a bunch of crazy shit while he was there. It was cool. But part of why people are liking it is because it's an old man who doesn't need to be doing this, doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of a weird thing too. It's kind of patronizing of the fan base. You know what I mean? To see a dude who literally jumps, all he does is fall forward onto a dude and fall through tables and then start chanting, "You've still got it," is patronizing as fuck.
Yeah.
Because you fell forward. He wasn't doing some crazy wrestling thing. He didn't tie someone up. He wasn't keeping up in the ring. He wasn't running back and forth. He slowly climbed up a thing, jumped down, and crashed into some tables. And you're chanting, "You still got it," comes off to me super patronizing.
No, they actually think they're being supportive.
They do. That's what's so weird to me.
Yeah.
They're like, "Look, you can still wrestle." Nothing he did was wrestle.
Wrestling.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a cool spot in the match for what it was, but like to chant "You've still got it" when a dude just jumps through a table, that's not a wrestling move. That's a fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
You can still fall. Woo! It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Darby Allin missed the coffin drop by fucking 2 feet.
That was
And then
wild.
That was awful.
and then gets the pin, and JR's all like, or was it like Excalibur is all like, "I think he got him with the head, so it was kind of a coffin drop headbutt. I think it was just enough to close it up."
Dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No.
Sure.
No.
A headbutt to the shoulder always knocks me out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Well, I must say this, since we're talking about commentary. Okay, sometimes, Excalibur, like with the whole, the history when Punk was out. Okay, that's cool because there are people who don't know, and that was really nice. But I love how JR, the longer something goes, the more kind of, I don't know what's in his sippy cup, but damn, sometimes he just gets no filter after a while.
I love
it.
I love
my
No
favorite.
Filter JR. He's our favorite.
Yeah, I love it.
When he goes,
I
"What
love
the
it.
hell are we doing here?" Or like, what was it with Buddy Murphy's fucking intro? Goes, "What are we doing? Lights on, lights off? What is this? Hokey pokey? We doing musical chairs? We can't keep the lights on around here?" And
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
Yeah, No BS JR is our favorite JR.
No BS JR. And I think there
Makes
was
me
one
smile
where
already.
it was somebody was saying somebody's name. And he was it was him and Taz. They were talking about Ricky Starks. And he kept, because Taz's accent, he goes, "Starks." And then JR was mocking him. And I thought that was hilarious. And I'm like, dude, JR's in a mood today. I love it.
Sometimes he goes, "I don't know what the hell I'm watching." I'm like, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and JR are watching the same thing.
Or like when Thunder Rosa is watching one, he's like, "Whoa, we're gonna see some wrestling."
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever Thunder Rosa comes up.
Yo, he said it on a Thunder Rosa D match. He goes, "Oh, if we're not careful, we might get a wrestling match tonight." And I was like, Jesus, JR.
Perfect.
Those are some of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And
I
Fox
think
does
he
say,
said something- yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I think he said something during the beginning of, Mox and Brian. I think he said something. I can't remember what it was, but it made me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is what wrestling is, or something like that. And I'm like, whoa.
Oh,
stop.
I know exactly what he said. When
What?
they're hitting each other, he goes all like, "Kids are watching this at home and reconsidering whether they want to be a wrestler or not, because they're looking at this and saying that looks like it hurts. Not like a lot of other stuff you see where nothing looks like it hurts. This looks like it hurts, and kids are gonna think they don't want to do." And I was all like, "Fuck yes, dude!" He's all like, "Selling sons of bitches."
It's great. So great.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah, Spinner Fox says, Sting, what the fuck are you doing? Do a new Jack spot. He goes, Sammy versus Darby versus Andrade should have been on the pay-per-view instead of Rampage. I could see that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Spinner Fox says, "I'm so nervous every time I see Sting in matches like this. So much could have happened. He could have fell off the rail. Oh, man. Yeah, dude, so every time he does something like that, I just go, you don't need to, and it's...
For what?
And
Yeah.
for what? Dude, that's what bothered me so much about Alex Zane cutting himself so bad at GCW. Is in my mind, I'm also like, for what? Because I was in that room and it wasn't... No one walked away talking about it, man. Like, for what? You put it all out there, and there's nothing but respect for the guy. But here he is, he's missing work now because he's had to have several surgeries to remove glass from his eye and arm.
Ugh, yeah.
And I'm like, for what? Like, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about, like, with Sting. If he gets hurt in one of those, it's going to be for what?
Yep.
You're in a big match that's a mess that no one's going to talk about just because these matches don't seem to mean as much. And it's like, just...
That's how I feel about Darby. Same
Maybe
thing.
yes.
Like, he jumps and does things, off of whatever. And it's like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, like, I when I met him, I'm like, watching you wrestle is uncomfortable. And I'm like, I'm not being disrespectful. I said, because I don't know if you're going to die or not.
Yeah.
And what he said to me was hilarious. He said to me, well, you know, we're all going to die somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I don't pay to watch someone die. And he goes,
yes.
I know. But if that's the way I'm going to go out, that's the way I'm going to go out. You got to live your life to the fullest. And I'm like, wow. As I bought a coffin necklace from him.
Please give me a little death necklace, please.
Yeah. But I have a great photo with Darby. I love my photo with Darby. So, you know.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And also at the time, Darby was like living in his car, right? So he really had nothing to lose. Yeah. Like if he did die, he would have died a legend, and that's kind of cool.
He would have, it would have been. Yeah, he was pissed though at Sammy Guevara because no one at the Globe had gone off the balcony yet, or the John Wilkes Booth. But Guevara did it before, and he had it, and everyone was like, "Don't do it," because Darby wants to do the coffin drop on it. Because I think he was wrestling Birdie King. So, obviously, in good hands. Yeah. But no, Guevara went up there, and he was like, son of a bitch. So, he had to change up what he was doing. And I'm like, fuck you, Sammy. God, you're ruining everything. And it was very botchy what Sammy did. So, I'm like, he did this.
That does play into, though, fast forward to Dynamite, bunch of tomfoolery. Everyone gives Matt Hardy the finger. They start beating the shite out of Matt Hardy. Sting and Darby come out to help, and that's not enough because there's just too many people who like to fight for no reason. And here comes Jeff Hardy. He runs out. He dances.
Yeah.
And then he runs to save his brother. He goes, okay.
Yeah. Not let me just run to save my brother. Hold on. Dance break.
Yeah.
You know?
My music. Play my music. I got to get out there. He's getting his ass kicked. Play my music. All right, music. Oh, dude, this is such a jam.
It's my jam.
Ah, shit, my brother. So good. So good. Because here's the deal. There's two things I get, right? I understand that there is a bit of a silliness in every wrestling company. Probably WWE does it worse than anybody. And there's a silliness to it where someone's getting their ass kicked, and then the music hits. Yeah. And then the wrestler comes running out because they're all like, play my music, I gotta save him. And you're like, okay. I always imagine in my mind, to kayfabe myself, I always imagine that they're running by the truck, and the truck goes, cue their music, or that everyone's music is cued at all times. And they go, oh my God, Finn Balor just ran by. It's gonna be Finn. Hit the Finn music. Now, boom, and then Finn comes out and runs. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I kayfabe myself, and it's stupid. I'm dumb. But most of them, at least, still run to the ring. Jeff went.
Not all of them. Not all of them. I mean, we can't be like Cena and have the fastest ring entrance in the world.
But that's his entrance. I mean, like, when someone's going up there to save someone, typically their music hits, but they at least run to the ring. Most of them don't come out and stand there and look around. They definitely don't dance for a couple of minutes and then go save them. Most of them run to the ring.
He was in the culture. He was absorbing because I don't know. But it was hilarious, though. I just thought it was great because it's like, aren't you supposed to save your brother?
Well, here's the other thing. He knows his brother can take a licking. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
If I see my brother in a fight, I'm going to go, he's got a good jaw. He'll be all right. He can take a couple
You're like, Senior Benjamin, where are you?
Yeah.
You know? Where's little, what was his name? Maxwell? Is that his son's name?
Yeah, Max. Yeah.
Yeah, where's him and his, well, he's probably big. So he probably has a bicycle instead of a tricycle. Like, where's he, like, rolling down the ramp, you know?
But it was funny. And I mean, Sting does the same thing. When Sting's music hits and he comes out to save people, he slowly walks out and looks around. And you go, Sting, go, you have a bat. Just get there, man. Just help them.
He's basking in the snow, okay? Yeah. That's usually what happens. So next time this happens, watch Sting, because he's like looking up. Okay, are they making, it's the snow falling. Okay, good.
I will say that it is funnier than most to like dance for a second and then run down there. You're like, you don't need to dance, man. But yeah, like I said, I kayfabe myself anyways. Spinner Fox does say, to circle back a little bit, he goes, Matt moved too far away. It was on him, not Darby. 100%. Matt was like rolling away while it happened too. Like, I don't want to take that. It was kind of funny, but it looked bad, and then it was the finish. That's the point.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it was on Matt on that one. Spinner Fox does say, yeah, Alex don't need to be doing a hardcore match. He goes, you don't need to be in a hardcore match, bud. Dude could have lost his eye. That's just it too. Is Alex Zane is so fucking good. I don't think he needed to. And then especially how it played out, like I kind of hope he doesn't do another one. Like, fuck, let that be that, man. Like, he's just too fucking good. And then Sprinter Fox says, man, Jeff vs. Darby buried alive match. Damn, Jeff dancing down the ring. He goes, I don't like music being played while a run-in, play after the chaos. Yeah, I get that too. I'm saying I've kayfabed myself to accept that it might play before, and that's how I envision it. But I agree with you. They should just get out there, fight, and then play their music. Oh shit, Jeff's out there helping him. Now play his music, you know?
You don't like
Jeff
the
was like
lights
that. Yeah. Jeff was like that was for eating the last ice cream when we were 5. You know, I'm gonna let you take a couple more punches. But producer lady asked you earlier, were you surprised to see Jeff Hardy here?
No.
No, I wasn't either, because on YouTube like 2 weeks ago he goes, oh yeah, I signed with AEW. And then the next day he goes, turns out that's illegal, so I definitely didn't sign with them. I'm just saying I hope to. And Tony goes, to be clear, we did not illegally sign Jeff Hardy because he's legally still signed with somebody else. So legally speaking, we haven't talked about anything like that legally, because that would be illegal if we had. And everyone went, perfect.
Oh my God.
No one believes that anything happened nefarious at all.
It's just,
and then when Jeff shows up, he goes, I can't believe it. I just must have signed it right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's legal now.
Yeah, it just like, come on, guys. Like,
they did the same thing with Adam Cole when they're like, oh, they signed Adam Cole, and then Tony Khan's like, take this down, because if that were true, wink, that would be an illegal tampering of contracts.
Like, Tony can afford a lawyer to just be on retainer. Like, come on. Anytime there's a question, it should be a phone call away. Like, I'm just saying, this is a little dumb.
He should have kept Veda Scott on, on commentary, because Veda is a lawyer.
Really?
So,
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea.
But even then, I mean,
that's dope.
Bruce Pritchard's talked about it on his show a ton, that every time they wanted to sign somebody and they were still in their contract, the first thing they would do if they called them was saying, hey, call us when you're allowed to talk about your contract status, because there's always a window at the end of the contract where they can talk.
Yeah.
But there's a window where they cannot. And so he would say we wouldn't offer them or anything. We would say, talk. And he even said, like, they didn't, I mean, who knows what. But he's like, he even talked about how sometimes you might talk to a friend of a talent and plant a seed in their ear and allow them to have their conversation, because it's not a legal conversation. It doesn't matter. You could say, well, if we were to talk to somebody like that, we'd probably offer them something like this. But that's all hypothetically speaking. And then that person would go over there and be like, hey, they potentially would be able to pay you something like this. Like, I mean, there's ways around it. But also, Tony's clearly not working in ways around it. He's just fucking signing people when it's illegal, and I think that might catch up to him at some point.
Yeah, he's just doing what he wants to do, because that's what Tony does, and he figures money is no object and whatnot. But you're playing with some big boys that are like, yeah, we have money too, but you know what? Fuck you, because we'll throw down like this. We'll put a kibosh to this. So
what did you think about the music?
I thought it was interesting that it was his and not something else. That shocked me. That was the most shocking part of it. Yeah, was the music. Yeah, but I mean, because we knew dirt sheets, YouTube, all of that. It's like all of these signings. The only thing, like Paige Van Zandt, we knew she was all elite. What, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
didn't need to have her sign it on Ty Conti's ass. I'm like, okay, that was so weird. And just things like that. Like, we knew Keith Lee was going. We didn't need to, whatever. You need to surprise me. You need someone to come out that nobody knows is coming, and it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. There's like 4 people I think that could happen with. One probably I really hope and pray, but I don't know. But I think that would be the best. Yeah. I think for me, I know that if one of them in particular, I would know beforehand, because I would be such a plant, and I would have other shirts on, and then rip them off. Yep. Yeah. Like
Fox says, the music is a non-WWE rights music. Like, I heard that too. There's like a license-free song somewhere. But I just wonder, because the way that WWE does stuff, if it's truly was a license-free one, or if it's just one that WWE doesn't care about the license for. Because that's the thing. Because I want to know, like, who wrote it. Because I thought that came out during the era of Johnson.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And so I thought he was the one who created it. And it could be that once their contract ran out, that he just posted all of his own stuff on a license-free thing. I wouldn't be shocked to find that out because Johnston was pretty upset about losing his contract with them. But he still owned the rights to the songs, which is why WWE had to change a bunch of the songs. They just no longer owned the rights to it. But they were using it pretty recently. The other thing is that I forget the name of the guy. I'd have to look it up, but he goes by the Gimmick Attorney, and it's not Mark Sterling, but he's like an actual attorney. And he talked about how much the WWE actually doesn't interfere with trademark stuff, legally speaking, that it's usually trademark offices who are protecting the WWE and not the WWE actively going after trademark stuff, unless of the case that they don't understand what's happening. Like the Chelsea Green thing, he believed when he saw it that it looked like the lawyers just flat out didn't realize Chelsea Green didn't work there anymore. And when she was trademarking her name, they thought it was an employee trying to trademark a currently used company concept, right? Once they found out she was no longer with the company, they dropped it immediately and said, oh yeah, she can have it. That WWE is not as lassoed onto these things as a lot of people want you to believe. So part of me just wondered, I was like, was it just a license that they were using and then just didn't care? Or like, I don't know. It's just interesting, and it was really cool. But at the same time, like Spinner Fox said, he was hoping that the music would have been a new song and then see Jeff on the screen. I would have liked him to use his old TNA music, just because, like, I think the other thing is, and he was also in Ring of Honor. What music did he use when he was in Ring of Honor? Use that music. Because at the same time, like, when you bring people over and you say that WWE did everything wrong with them, but then the first thing you want to do is attach their music back to them. Even Daniel Bryan. The music is a different song, but it starts off identically because they go, oh, look, it's just like him. Even the Adam Cole song is the beginning of the Undisputed song that turns into another song. Like, break it away. Allow it to be separate. Allow it to stand on its own. Like, I just think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Or don't have, like, Cult of Personality and Wild Thing and all of that. Yeah. But it's interesting. I had saw an interview on YouTube, a real short one, where they were interviewing the Acclaimed. I love those guys now. They're really grown on me. But Max Caster was like, I am not releasing the theme song. He's told Tony Khan, he's told everybody, we're not releasing that. And he said, when you listen to people on TV, you could tell that he's like, that's not the original version. They're taking it off of TV and rapping over it. And he says, I don't want my shit being rapped over, on that. And I thought that was a smart move. And that some people are very protective of their work. Yeah. And I mean, you should be, so don't like this PG, thing they're doing with him, but whatever. Yeah. He did bring in boobies and something else, but no.
Did you have anything to add about Paige and Adam Cole's match, the Battle of the Atoms? I have nothing. I saw you came out in some stupid cosplay, and I just turned it off. And
you mean Paige?
Cole
coming
Cole
out.
Adam Cole came out.
No! Yeah, Cole looking like he was a video game character on like Halo or Call of Duty. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
and then you have Paige, who obviously they were in Orlando, right? And then you have Paige coming in because it was around, I think it's around the time with the shooting that happened at that nightclub. Oh. So he was wearing the rainbow colors.
That's cool.
But I could be wrong, but I think that's what that was. Yeah. I actually enjoyed this match. Probably, I think Paige really was kind of carrying Adam Cole. But I don't know. I mean, some people are going to say, no, he wasn't, but I'm glad that Paige won. It was a great match. And I think that, honestly, this was better than I thought it was going to be. That's my opinion. So, but it'll be very interesting. Now the fallout from Dynamite is weird. No. Yeah.
I because saw someone listing all the things that Adam Page has defeated since he won the title. All the people he defended it against, and one person, like the last match they said, and he just won an NXT Takeover main event, and that made me laugh. Just saying that this match was just like a Takeover match.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But see now with Dynamite, we fast forward and they're doing that match where Adam Cole's like, "Oh, I'm bringing 2 people in, blah blah blah. We're going to do this trios thing, and that was no surprise to me who was going to do it. Obviously you're alluding to the Bucks, but obviously nope, cuz you're going to use fucking Undisputed Era 2.0. So I thought that was really weird, but then again, Dark Order, he's going and doing something rogue. And I have a feeling, this is just a prediction, and if whatever, it's not Marty. It's going to involve someone that was in the Elite. Because there was somebody who was on BTE and was on BTE recently who also was in Orlando. That would be Flip Gordon. I know people don't like Flip because of his political views, but you know what? He's a good person, people, and the guy is really talented. He's shred now, but really talented guy. Just kind of, but then aren't we all cuckoo? So,
do you think that,
but yeah, I think that's going to be
one that Page, when he gets a team, it turns out to be the Young Bucks, and then that's how the Young Bucks turn face.
It could be, but I don't know if that's going to happen yet. There'd have to be a little bit more of something, but I don't know. But that's possible.
Because the way that they've done every turn so far is just like, I'm different now. They don't usually like build towards anything. Even their heel turn was out of nowhere and stupid anyhow. You just easily go, well, look, we team with Adam Page now, so now we're good. We shaved our mustache, so we're good.
Shaved the beard.
Yeah.
We still have the $20,000 sneakers, but we're yeah. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Was there anything else on Dynamite that you wanted to throw out there?
The only other thing I wanted to talk about Scorpio Sky real quickly. I'm glad he won. Yeah. However, my question is it too late? Because he, I think, has the potential and should have been by now, 3 years in, a megastar. He should be one of these people that is one of the pillars and who's anchoring this company.
Oh, we want him to be the first champ.
Yeah, exactly.
The first time we saw him, we were like, that dude.
Yeah. That dude right there. And I don't know like how I feel about it now, because now I'm like, is it too little too late? I don't know.
I just feel like he's just wasted over there. I honestly do. I feel like that he's too good for what they're doing with him. I feel like he's a really good example of them misusing talent. Not to say that they do everyone poorly or anything like that, but I just saying the argument of companies misusing talent goes both ways. And Scorpio Sky is the first one I point to when I go, oh, AEW definitely can misuse a talent and underappreciate a talent. And Scorpio Sky is, to me, like the biggest sign of that. He was somebody the first time I saw him on Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
I went, oh shit, that's your superstar right there. This guy could be it.
Yeah.
And then to see them just bury him away and shut him up and throw him to the side, and then now they give him this title off of an injured Sammy Guevara because he couldn't have beaten Sammy if he wasn't injured. I was like,
yeah.
All right, well, it's nice. They're starting to do something sort of with him, but I guess we'll see where it takes him. How many years before he gets anywhere near something believable?
Yeah. And I think, too, with Scorpio Sky, he does bring in a lot of other things behind the scenes. Because remember, with the New Japan LA dojo, he was the one who was Shibata's right hand when that first opened up again with everything. So definitely, he was really instrumental in getting like Carl Fredericks and Clark Connors and all of those guys, who are like basically leading the way with Strong. And I thought, like that's another one who's, again, he's like kind of Janela in that way where he does look at talent and things like that and will try to help out if he can. Because I know he did that with Carl before, and that's how Carl got the audition to go to New Japan. So definitely, there's other positives with it, but I'm glad he finally got the title. I don't know if it's too late. And is it going to bounce around like a bouncing ball? Like, that's the other question. I hope not. I hope they keep it on him for a little bit. And then. whatever.
Yeah, I think they will, and I hope they do. But Cinemax brings up a good point. He says Sky, Page, and Omega are now the only to hold 2 different championships in AEW. It's been planned to win the TNT title in October, but they held on to it for too long. But if he has a long title run, they can save it. He goes, R.I.P. Joey's AEW run. But it is kind of a shame when you think about it that the only people who have held 2 titles, Page and Omega, were thrown together and became tag champions just because to give them a reason to split, which I don't think they needed a reason to split to begin with, but whatever. And then for Sky to held the tag and then this, it does seem a little bit of a bummer that they keep that much of a divide between their tags, their TNT, and their world. You know what I mean? Like, you'd almost think that you'd see a little bit more of a flow where someone might win a tag and then a TNT and then a world championship, and you go, oh, look at this person's growing in the company. To keep them so separate, it's a little bit of a bummer, but kind of neat.
Yeah. So I think the rest on Twitter the last couple of days, I've been seeing, well, who's going to be the one that gets the Triple Crown? And
Sky is the best one to do it.
Yeah, I think so. I think Scorpio Sky should be the first one to do it. But, you know, I mean, who knows with that one? But I know it's not going to be one of the WWE signees. That's not going to happen. No. And I think it has to be someone who's put in the work. It's not, you know, so I think definitely he's probably the one. It's either him or Paige. But I think more so Scorpio Sky. Because he deserves that, damn it. He deserves better than this Dan Lambert shit. No offense to Ethan Page. Ethan Page deserves some shit too. And, you know, but.
Yeah, I agree. Shit. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it plays out.
Tomorrow will be interesting.
Yeah.
And next week.
Yep. We shall see. Anything else AEW you want to talk about?
No.
Let's talk AEW. Or not AEW.
What?
Let's talk NXT.
Oh! NXT.
Did you finish NXT?
Yeah. Saw the whole thing.
Okay. Cool.
This was a pretty solid fucking episode. I know that they were trying to do it. Was it Roadblock? But it opened up. It had the match Raquel Gonzalez and Cora Jade.
Yeah.
Against Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu. What do you think?
You know me.
She's on the Chu crew.
I'm on that Chu crew, you know. I really thought that really highlighted all 4 of those women. I think what I loved was Dakota and her whole kind of, I don't want to call it a mental breakdown, but that whole, oh my God, I you know, go away, you know, go away. The whole thing with Raquel, I thought that was brilliant. And with Wendy, surprisingly, the 2 of them make a really good tag team.
Yeah,
I was very shocked. And then again, every time I see Wendy Chu wrestle, I mean, she's a really great submission technician for some of these ladies. And I think that we need more of that. And I'm like pro that. But I think the match could have gone either way. I personally thought that it was going to be Raquel and Cora Jade. But look where we are now. I think probably because this happened, I have a feeling that Toxic Attraction is going to interfere again somehow with the finals, and you're going to get Dakota and Wendy winning because they know that, oh yeah, this isn't really a total, you know, they could beat them because it's going to be hard to beat Io Shirai, you know, and Batgirl. Yeah.
Kaylee Ray. But at the same time, the reason I think that it's possible for Wendy and Dakota to take the thing is because Io and Kaylee, as much as they've been really good as a tag team, they are definitively singles stars who are at the highest level. And I think keeping them locked up as a tag team might be a little strange. Where even with Raquel and Dakota, it was very much like a Shawn Diesel thing where it felt like 2 singles guys anyways who were together. I don't know if you get that same feeling from Io and Kaylee Ray. You just get 2 kind of like-minded, and I think the reason you put Wendy and Dakota together is I think Wendy and Dakota as a tag team can thrive as a tag team. Where I think Io and Kaylee Ray have a very short shelf life as a tag team.
Yeah.
Even if they win it.
And also, what do you do with Dakota? Because She hasn't moved up. I mean, she had a little bit of, up on main roster and then is back down. So it's like, well, what do you do? So it kind of makes sense in a way.
Yeah.
But then again, too, I mean, they've been talking about Io moving up for a long time now, right?
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that movement yet, and I'm shocked that she hasn't.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Producer Lady, what do you think of Wendy Chu and this match?
Oh, that was a good match. I mean, they're all pretty solid. Yeah, I'm not like diehard of any of those women. Like, I think they're all great, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not my faves.
Yeah, I think Cora Jade still has a ways to go. I think that she's doing really good, but I think what it is, I think I wish Cora Jade hit harder.
Yeah.
She's doing everything she can to protect her partner, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But in that, she's not connecting always, and I just want to see. It's harder to believe her just because she's protecting her opponent so much that it looks like play fighting, and I think that she has what it takes to stiffen up a little bit and still be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also really liked Wendy Chu, her ability to turn her moves into gimmicks.
Yeah.
Like part of her gimmick. Like when she was doing the roll up, she looked like she was just kind of cuddling into a pin position.
Yeah.
And then kind of rolling back into it, and she was just like, no, I'm just comfortable. Like, I'm okay just like the way it looked. Is impressive.
Yeah, she's one where I think there's not very many people who can pull off moves like that, especially women, because you've got to be really comfortable with what you're doing to make it look like I'm being kind of lazy. You know what I mean? So that's a really great testament to her. And she and Dakota they were like magic. They were just on each other, and it was great. And I loved how, was it Stu who pointed out, how do they even communicate with each other? They don't really talk to each other. Yeah. Or was it Vic Joseph? It was one of the two. Well, obviously there's only two of them, but and I thought that was really that was great, because it just is. Yeah. It just made sense, because it's like, yeah, how are they, communicating? It's weird, but it works.
It worked. It worked really well.
Yep.
We did get Tiffany Stratton versus Fallon Henley.
Yes. Sorry, that's my chick. I'm a super big fan of Stratton. Yeah. And just because, producer lady here, I like when women look like physically strong, and they are strong, and like, I don't know, I just think she's got something.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting a lot from this match. I thought, oh, it's gonna be a quick match. She's just gonna win. And it turns out, no, she lost, but she made the other person look good too. I thought that was a solid match that I was very surprised at. Like, I like not being able to tell, what all is going to happen. And I'm just still gung-ho on her teaming up with, on the main roster with Carmella and Zelina. I think that would be just a fantastic trio.
I'm constantly impressed with Tiffany Stratton. I think she's picking us up really fast.
Yes.
She's also very impressive. I mean, she's impressive looking, and then she does impressive shit. The way that she moves a lot like Ricochet. She's kind of how did I word it before? She was like,
she's very fluid. Mm-hmm. Like, she's very natural in her movements, almost like a dancer, but still very believable, because she's just like so buff. Like, her legs are buff, her arms are buff. And I just think that's cool. It's cool to have women that don't all look the same. Yeah. Like different body types, different styles. And like, she's pulling off sexy without it being too much. Because I feel like right now, all of the shows are trying to give off very steamy, sexy vibes. And at times, I kind of feel like it's a bit too much. Like, okay, what are we doing? Like, I get it. These women are all hot. Everyone works out. But she's doing it in like a really annoying, obnoxious way that just, I don't know. It makes me actually watch her without being like, oh, she's trying to be this or that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she got that promo later on in the night too.
Yeah, and she's good on the mic. And she's good on social media. Like, she knows, I think, how to pull back. Like, she doesn't she doesn't overdo it with any one of those things to me.
Yeah, she had like a total sort of Valley Girl accent when she was cutting her promo. That came off
her
super
character,
natural.
man.
Yeah,
She's got that. That's the one thing I know at first that really impressed me was her character. I mean, she's got that down. And what's great about it is that, you might not win all the time, but she's so strong. And, even in a loss, I mean, you're there like, who cares if you lost or whatever, because it's good solid matches that you're getting from her. And I really like the Little Mermaid top. I thought that was cute. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was
my favorite part too, besides their outfit. Yes. My favorite part was the ending with Saray coming in. I was like, oh, hell yeah. You give me Saray and Stratton. I am down, because I feel like, especially with Saray's new character, I don't think everyone was behind her. So I feel like they are going to show up and show out, and people are going to be very surprised.
Yeah. I think the two of them do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Saray was really interesting, because I was like, whoa. Okay. So definitely that was something that I kind of liked as well.
I do think that a lot of Tiffany's like gear and stuff is all like a little extra cute and stuff, like, oh, little frills, oh, little beads, like,
it's very Clueless to me.
Yeah, it's very much like Clueless, and she's very much got a Clueless character kind of a deal, like a very much like Daddy Will Fix It kind of a deal. I think what she's doing is awesome. I also think Fallon Henley looked very impressive here. She did an awesome job. I don't care that she's with Briggs and Jensen, but I think she's doing awesome.
But also just cool to see. I'm sorry, but it's really cool to see new talent. That they're not just sitting in the back. If they think they're ready, they're going to give them a shot. And these new people are really like showing up. And I don't know, maybe they've been there for a long time and now they're coming up. But
it's very impressive.
I like seeing fresh faces when they're ready.
Yes, that's a huge thing.
They're not struggling. Like, I don't want to see that much of a struggle. Like, I want to actually be in the moment and believe what I'm watching, more or less.
Yeah, like Nikita Lyons, her debut match, she looked really strong in it.
Yeah.
Like Tiffany Stratton's looked strong this whole time. Like, it's not impossible to keep someone off TV while they get close enough. You know what I mean? Are you close enough to being ready, and will you step up once you get there? And I think that this is a match I actually expected very little of. With Tiffany Stratton coming out against someone who was just in the ring without music, I was like, okay, just going to be a showcase of a couple moves. She's going to do some fancy stuff. We know how good she is, former gymnast and all that.
Yep.
And then it's like turned into like a match with a bunch of stuff, and I was like, this is fucking good. Like,
yeah.
And then she cut that promo later on, and I was like, god damn, like, she's got this. Like, this is like, she knows this character.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
They have a good stable of women, which is great to see that, they're developed not only just like character wise, but obviously with moveset. So it's not just like cookie cutter things. And then even if you look at Toxic Attraction and then bringing Mandy in and what Mandy's doing now, it's like, it's a whole step above. And I think that they've been doing a really great job with it.
I don't feel that all the women are ready for the main roster, but Stratton is one that I'm like, she is ready. She's ready to go.
Yeah, because she'll.
That's how I feel about Zoe Stark. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Definitely Io.
Right? Yeah. Those are the ones definitely.
For sure. I think they're, and then I think they would also learn so much from the people on the main roster. You put them in the right pairings and such, After that, we got LA Knight versus Grayson Waller in a last man standing match. Yeah,
I loved that sign. Yeah, I was a little kid. I'm like, you rock.
Yeah, the kid fucking
Get
gets
it.
it.
I love how much
and now people were getting it.
Yes, I love the turn. I love that we went from everyone shitting on the new name, shitting on his character, hating him, to bam, he is like just a superstar, and everyone knows it now.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, people were doing nothing but shitting on his name. This is so stupid, horrible name, horrible. No one's gonna like this. They were booing him out of the building because they just didn't want him there. He's too pro wrestling.
Yes.
He's a pro wrestler. And I was all like, for a fucking crowd that bitches about sports entertainment, and then you get mad because someone comes in and they're such a pro wrestler, like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But to see him win over the crowd the way he has, the crowd was just like losing their shit for him on the entrance.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it for this guy. He's also incredible and one of the nicest dudes I've met. And
that was bullshit, the ending of that match, but you know.
oh yeah,
I
got
get
screwed.
it.
See, but I also like Grayson Waller. Like, I'm a big fan of that dude too.
He's impressive as fuck.
I mean, obnoxious, but man, they work well together. I'm like,
They do. They have great.
hard for me to
chemistry.
hate either.
Grayson
Yeah.
Waller
I
moves in a way
know.
like
Oh.
yeah. The two of them to make stuff look so natural when they're doing supernatural things is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
The way they get to the moves is everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that this match is one, because I saw people even shit on it. And you guys are just not watching matches. I don't know what to tell you.
They're
This
not
is one of
watching.
those
I don't
ones
know.
where you could study the match and study how you get two moves between moves. Like, I've heard a lot of old timers in different podcasts talk about that wrestling is what happens between the moves, and storytelling and psychology is what happens between spots. And I felt like this one, you could see that all over. Like, it was very much in there. It was fantastic.
People don't like that because it requires them to think, and they don't want their wrestling like that. They want super kick, flippy shit, super kick again. False finish.
It almost requires them to feel more than general excitement. And I think that there's a lot of people who like to watch that flashy style Young Bucks wrestling because it's very exciting. A lot of moving, a lot of action, and hit, spin, hit, flip, hit. Like, it's exciting.
It's
and
video.
Whoa.
It's arcade video game to me.
Yeah, it's like an arcade video game.
Yeah.
Where I think that this makes them feel something different than excitement, and therefore it must not be good because there's not that just general excitement of just excitement for excitement's sake, exciting moves. This is like you're feeling worry, you're feeling excitement, you're feeling anxious, you're wanting someone to get over, like you're feeling bad for this person, and now you're feeling like this person's getting screwed over. Like,
there's a range.
So much more. There's a range. Yeah. It's not. And I think what Young Bucks, and there's nothing wrong with it specifically. Like, I mean, cruiserweights and luchas are very much the same, where a lot of it is, can you make them feel excited for the whole match? That's tough to do. So I'm not trying to necessarily knock what they do, just to say that I don't feel the same when I watch those matches. And when all you're trying to do is get across one emotion, and that emotion is excitement, and someone doesn't feel that excitement, you're not getting that one emotion out of that one fan, you've lost that fan entirely. And that's what it is when I see that it's too much choreographed and too much arcadey, I lose interest because I'm not feeling excitement, and you're doing nothing to get me anywhere past excitement. Where matches like this, yes, there's excitement within the match, but it's because of all the other emotions you got to get there, and that's the ones that draw me so much,
Yeah.
Spinner Fox says, you all finally seeing Eli Drake, how he was an Impact. Good for you to see it. I've seen it already. Good for you, though. Dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We've been talking about him. We've been talking about him since Impact, since NWA.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Shoes of a Champion shirt, dude.
Yeah.
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 The NXT crowd is finally starting to get on board with it. I agree with you in that. Good for them. But don't fucking come pointing your finger at us like we just figured this out.
No.
We've been singing his praises.
Yes.
I think from episode 1, when my episode 1 when I came around, we already were talking about how great he was, or is, not was, is. So yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and he's got a superstar
Like
power.
Bishop
When I
and
met
his
him,
weird
when we
shitty
also, he's also humble enough that like when I met him, he was like, it was cool to talk to him. But when I saw him in the ring, it felt special. Like the first time I saw him wrestle at Hard Times, I remember being like, oh,
that's a superstar. You're like,
yeah, I was in my mind. It reminded me and felt a little bit like seeing in, and I'm not saying like I don't want to overboast someone either, but like there was different bits of stuff where I saw something that was like that felt Stone Cold, that felt Kurt Angle, that felt The Rock. Like you could feel all these little influences in him, and you could feel his star power coming through all that as well. That like it felt like you were seeing a superstar, and the only thing you could do was equate him with other superstars on those levels. And I thought, how cool is it that I'm watching him and the little synapses in my head that are going off are on these Mount Rushmore dudes. It's not like, oh yeah, this guy reminds me of Alex Wright. You know what I mean? This guy reminds me of Disco Inferno. Like, that's not it. Like, it's all like, oh my god, like superstar. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of NWA, did James Storm just like retire?
He's doing acting. He's doing a
Oh,
lot of
he
acting
is?
right now.
He was doing some acting and some real estate.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the victims of COVID in that he was signed.
Yes.
Like everything but the dotted line, the start date with WWE.
Yep.
And COVID happened and they put a hold on it. They said, hold on, let's see how this plays out.
Yep.
And once COVID hit, they just never called him back. And that was that. But he was set to go to NW or to leave NWA and go to NXT.
Yeah. That was a bummer.
Yeah, 2019.
Because, I mean, how much would we have loved to see Storm and Drake? Knight. Like, that would have been amazing.
Incredible.
Like,
the two of them as a tag, even.
Yeah, but he's not doing nothing. He's definitely, surviving with a career,
Yeah.
But also acting. Like, you never know, man. I mean, Becky Lynch studied acting for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, for
Last
quite a
Call
while.
Outlaw.
Huh?
Last Call Outlaw.
Yeah, so.
I think he's still selling them. I don't think he's sold out. I still want to get one. The beer bottles. He put his own label on it and signed them. Last Call Outlaw.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
Yep.
It was great. Let's see. Moving on. Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter, all of that. And I guess right before that match, we had Nikita Lyons on Lashing Out with Lash Legend.
Yeah.
I didn't hate this as much as I really thought I was going to. I do think it's interesting.
I fast forwarded. I hate Lashed Out. I don't like it.
I'm not a big fan of Lashing Out. I started doing other things while it was on, but I found myself listening to what Nikita was saying.
Yeah.
It was really gossipy. It was kind of thirsty. Lash Legend was all like, you were trending, but we all know why. And then she said something along the lines of having implants in her ass. And Nikita saying I'm all natural. And so some of that stuff I was kind of like, I don't think I need all this. But I also, my takeaway from it was that Nikita was doing a good job talking.
Yeah.
She was talking. She was speaking in character. She made sense. She didn't come off awkward or weird or forced. She was very natural. So in my mind, I was like, all right, well, at least we know her next match and we know that she can talk. We'll see how it plays out. I don't think the story that's there is a lot to bite into.
I mean, I don't like the Lash character to me, but I do like what I can see the fight being because who is it that we saw Lash with last week? But I felt like the size difference was too much for me. Like I like women who are like the same size more or less, so that it feels more like a fair fight.
Yeah.
And so I am glad that they're like the same height ish, like similar build, like cool. I'll be excited once they're in the ring, but like this story, I don't love.
Not a lot. I'm ready to move past it already, but
I don't love it.
This
but
is our next stop.
Yeah.
First stop. All right. What'd you think of the match? Casey and Caden, Io, Kaylee.
It went kind of, for me, it felt like it went by really quickly, but also it's kind of what I expected. So going into it, it's like, this is what I'm expecting. And they delivered. It was a good little match, but I think that I already had kind of in my mind when I was watching it already was like, I know this outcome, not because I saw spoilers, no, because I usually don't try to look at them, but just kind of like, it makes sense in my brain. Yeah.
I know. I'm a little bummed too because Casey and Caden have been one of the most long-standing women's tag teams. Yeah.
But they don't want to pull the trigger on them, and and that's really kind of sad.
I don't know. They get called up after Mania.
Mm-hmm.
After Mania, I'd like to see them on the main roster as a tag team, going after the tag champions and staying in that conversation for a while.
You think they could hang on the main?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good enough for that.
Okay.
But it was good. It was cool. Cool. Indy Hartwell's doing some awful stuff with Persia that I could not be bothered with.
Don't care for this story.
Just zip through that. And then we get Imperium.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Creed Brothers were laid out in the parking lot by some pipes. So they got some pipe lading. And then we got Imperium and MSK.
I loved it.
Fucking badass, man.
I like Imperium. That's just me. But I also can't not watch an MSK match. Like, they're so good. They just like fly through the air. Like, I just think they'd be perfect with Ricochet, honestly. Like, they move like they're dancers, but they're not trying to dance. Like, to me, it doesn't feel super choreographed, even though I could definitely see, some spots.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like too much to me. Like, it just feels like they're just so good.
Yeah, it's amazing. The fact that there's like anyone who ever has booed MSK in their life is just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you just did it wrong.
You're pathetic. I'm like, I don't know what you're watching.
Yeah, they're just incredible and dynamic and charismatic, and they're natural and they're supernatural, all wrapped into one.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
They're ones who've been
And
ready
with
for the big time for a long time.
Yeah. Yep. Imperium. It was beautiful to see how well the styles like mesh together. And that's rare to see that, because especially when you have flippy people and people who are a little bit more technical, strong style kind of things. So,
but
definitely,
I think, yeah.
Okay. In the chat, Finn Fox says, "Congrats to Dolph. We're gonna get to that." He said, "Wendy Choo and Dakota gonna win it all. Just saying." And he said, "Indy's being wasted." I agree. I think there's something about I don't think she's doing a bad job of what they're asking her to do. I think what they're asking her to do is a bad job of getting people connected to her character.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less about Indy Hartwell in this moment. And she is one that when she made her first appearance on TV, we knew who she was.
Yep.
We knew her background. We knew her inspirations. We wanted nothing but success. We were so excited. We tweeted at her when she had like 400 followers. Like,
yeah.
She was everything. We thought, this is it. She is the future. And at this point, they've done everything they possibly can to make us not care about her at all.
I mean, I just remember that I thought she was doing a pretty decent job back when she was on the main roster briefly. Like, yes, she was jobbing out to Charlotte, but, it's Charlotte. And I was like, okay, cool. She's getting some main roster experience. And then when they brought her back and they threw her in these like goofy, silly stories where she, it was just, it really turned me off to all of the characters that were just being so over the top. Yeah. Where I think that, she has a lot of potential.
Yes.
She really does. She's not a horrible actress, but when she's given like these like really lame stories, then that's what's going to happen. It's a bummer.
Yeah, she's been completely wasted, and she's got nothing but potential, and that's a shame.
I mean, Austin Theory, came out of it, and he's, I think, doing great. And I want like the same thing for her.
And
like
in
so
her
much.
defense, and to her detriment, I think at the same time, she's absolutely executing it to perfection. You know what I mean? Like, she couldn't give them a more perfect execution of what they're asking her to do.
I know.
So it's all like, that's fantastic for you. It's awful. And so it's like, you just hope that they have that longevity plan for her to get her the other side. Much like a Ziggler who started off as a cheerleader. Maybe in a few years we'll think about how goofy it was. That's how she got it all started. But right now it's frustrating to live through it. You just want her on the other side already. Yeah,
we're trying to forget about the Loomis story. We're trying to forget about all this other goofy crap. And it's like, come on, don't throw her in another another stupid story.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that's what's happening. And so for me, it's really frustrating because you're like, come on, there's so much potential there. But yet you're going to kill it because of, this, whatever.
Yes, bad comedies. Accurate.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
Not all writers can write comedy well. I mean, you've said it before.
Yep. Spinner Fox has a terrible idea. He says he wants Bayley to go down to NXT and rule and help the younger talent. She has done it all in Raw, SmackDown. That would make me watch NXT again just for her. She has not done it all. You shut your damn mouth, Splinter Fox. I need her to win the Rumble.
Yes.
I want her to win at WrestleMania. I want her to hold all titles at one time.
You know what? I would be fine if they brought Indy up and reveal her to be Natty's assistant. I'd be totally cool with that story.
If they played that up as because Natty's been doing the assistant thing online. If her assistant turned out to be Indy. I also wouldn't be bothered if at WrestleMania, let's say Sasha and Naomi win the titles, because that's who I'm banking on that one. And Bayley comes back and she is pissed that Sasha's gotten the title to someone else and she needs a partner to go take down Naomi and Sasha. I wouldn't hate it if the partner she chose happened to be Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
That wouldn't bother me at all either.
Yeah, we have faith.
Yeah. Splinter Fox says, what? He goes, no, Bayley's bodyguard. Yeah, let her be Bayley's bodyguard, man.
What?
I don't care. Yeah, bring
She's
it on.
not buff enough to be a bodyguard.
She could be a bodyguard.
Come on.
No.
She's a human shield bodyguard, same thing. She just keeps. How great would that be if she was like if she was supposed to be like the muscle, but she just clearly wasn't as big. But every time someone's coming at Bayley, Bayley grabs her and throws her in the way.
She's just the rag doll.
Yeah, she becomes a ragdoll human shield. That'd be hysterical.
That's so sad. Oh, come on.
That's really horrible. Speaking of Bayley, is she back yet or no?
No, but
pictures.
I want my Bayley back, Bayley back, Bayley back, Bayley back, Bayley back.
Someone.
I want my Bayley back, Bayley back, Bayley back, Bayley back, Bayley back. My chilies, my Bayley back ribs.
Okay. Someone.
Goose sauce.
Someone posted a picture of her at the performance center. They're like, she's training. I'm like, you don't know that. She could have just stopped by to say hi.
She could be visiting.
Yeah.
Like,
You know.
who knows?
And also, training is very broad.
Yeah.
Is she in the ring running the ropes?
Yeah.
Probably not. If she's there, she just using their gym to do stuff, or maybe she's going to get a medical checkup to see how far she's coming along in their system, because she knows what her personal trainer's saying. What do they say? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Only reason why I was asking is because one of the places that she in the Bay Area where she wrestled with as Davina Rose, they're doing a tribute show for Kirk White. And I know she, pretty much got her, was in that training camp and etc. So
she posted about that show.
Yeah, so I was just wondering. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but she's not announced on there. I think if anything, it would be like a surprise that she's showing up, because the other one who I know also did a little bit of training there and stuff. Aaron Solo's on the poster, so definitely it would be interesting to see if she shows up. So.
I think she's also the type who might show up with the hoodie on, with her hood up, and just go to the back and hang out and. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, she might not be part of the show, but she might go there and support and maybe
just
donate,
support.
buy some merch. Yeah, like I could see that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
like Josh Barnett does that at all the GCW shows. You can't go to like any GCW show in LA without seeing Josh Barnett just walking around in the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he no hoodie hidden. I was like, the first time I saw him, I'm like, whoa, Josh Barnett's here.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
someone
oh,
had said,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and someone was like, didn't you see him this was the second GCW show in LA. Like, yeah, didn't you see him the Arquette night? And I'm like, that place was so small. No. I said, that's when you guys were like, oh, did you see Luke Perry? And I'm like, fuck no. Yeah. Always miss that motherfucker. So, I mean, yeah. But eventually I got him, and I'm glad I did. So, oh yeah, people, I'm still looking for Jungle Boy. Needs to sit with my Dylan
in the wild.
I've not seen him in the wild at all.
I've seen almost everyone
but
I haven't seen that one. I keep looking.
All I see is Sheeta, and I've seen Phoenix and Cody. I don't know what stores some of y'all are going to, and you see like a billion of them. Yeah. Target ain't it, because Target will have 2 or 3. Not gone into a Walmart, because Walmart for me it's COVID infested. Right. So I only do drive up, but I'm gonna have to check. So
all right, let's see. Spinnerfox says, have Bayley take the title off Becky, give Becky a crazy title run, and have Bayley take it on SummerSlam. Sure. Final match though, main event: Ziggler, Ciampa, Braun Breaker, Booty Breaker, Big Booty Nephew, Tommaso Ciampa, Dolph Ziggler. yeah, Dolph Ziggler gets the win. He gets the NXT Championship. Robert Roode goes out there, helps him with the thing. During the night as well, they had like a random promo spots by Ciampa, Breaker, and Ziggler, and I thought all of them were really fucking good. This match was amazing. Split Fox has just got Lance. I've seen all of them except Jungle Boy in the wild. I seriously have. But I go to Walmart and Targets. But what'd you think of this matchup? What'd you think of the whole thing here? We got Dolph Ziggler. You know, someone pointed out Dolph Ziggler has done everything in reverse. The first title he won in WWE was the heavyweight championship.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The second title he won was like the Intercontinental Championship, and then the US title, and then now the NXT title. He's like, most people go from developmental up. He started up and is working his way down.
Yep.
What do you think of it, Amanda?
You know, the outcome was I was a little pleasantly surprised. But yeah, no, now that you bring that up about Ziggler, I'm like, yeah, you're right.
No, I'm so happy for him.
Oh
Yeah, and
Like,
you know,
so cool.
I did think the promo picture of him with his crimped hair was a little funny. I'm like, please don't come out with crimped hair because I'm just gonna laugh the whole time.
I love the crimped hair.
Oh yeah.
It was
He does the
hilarious.
most obnoxious shit with his hair all the time. It's
But
so funny.
This is like,
Yeah.
he comes out looking like Edge with this scruffy face, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, whoa. And especially
used
when
to
he
this.
was coming out and kind of doing that, cutting that promo. Yep.
Yeah.
Play the music, the good, whatever.
He's so
And
good.
I was just like, this is great. And then of course you get Ciampa there, and it's like, oh shit, this is just,
Mhm.
great. And of course, Braun Breaker. I mean, every week he just impresses me so much.
Yeah.
This week,
Even more.
even more so. Yeah. Well,
If you
I'm sure,
guys know Amanda, you know why.
you know me. If you know me, not gonna lie, we know what I'm talking about. Even if you're just listening, we know what I'm talking about. Booty. And I will say, Braun Breaker is top 10, but not in the top 5. Just to be fair. So, but that was very unexpected. I was like, whoa, and I didn't realize that you could do that on NXT. So, that
Well, I don't
had
think it
me
was
for-
planned.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it just happened. But that was a big, the camera angle they could have cut right away, but they just were like, boom,
They
like,
left it up in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't go back to watch, but it was on the screen for a good couple of seconds. They could have edited and cut to something else.
Yeah.
But that's what we saw.
Yeah, it was there, and it's there on the replay. They didn't cut it from the replay. It's all there.
Yeah, great match.
The dude
I mean,
bucks.
Yeah, match.
It was tough because I was kind of like, man, I didn't
Everyone
have
should-
any. Yeah, I didn't have any preference. I was like, man, any one of these guys can win.
Yeah.
That was really tough.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad Dolph Ziggler won. I wonder if they're going to do something where they put the NXT title on WrestleMania, but I think they're doing Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend, so I guess
Yeah.
you give Dolph something to do WrestleMania weekend that's not on WrestleMania, or maybe you have Dolph work 2 matches if he's in a tag match. Like, I don't know. I just think there's a lot there on the table and possibilities, and I wonder if part of it, they've been doing such an awesome job with Braun on Raw. It's been so good. Even in the tag match that they had on Raw this past week, Braun Breaker showed out, and he was doing real impressive shit. Total powerhouse, got the win. I don't know. Spinner Fox has a question in there. He goes, thoughts on Braun Breaker getting called up too early? Give it more time or just right? I don't know that there's a too early with someone who's that natural.
No,
Yeah.
He reminds me in that regard of a Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen all of Kurt Angle's matches, and I mean that in that he never had an untelevised match. He just was thrown into it and learned as he went. And Braun is that level of natural on it. He's just that much of an athlete. I think that we've seen all of Braun Breaker's matches. He hasn't had matches that have been untelevised. He hasn't been wrestling for years that we don't know about.
Yeah.
You got homegrown talent.
Yeah, homegrown but natural. I think you can just go with him and he'll get there when he gets there.
Oh yeah.
Justin Time coming through saying, just finished recording our episodes. I had to make sure to cheers the dive bar.
Cheers.
Yeah, we're having a late night tonight. It's
Yep.
like the opposite of happy hour. So glad you came through just in time. You came in just in time.
Oh, God. They're awful.
Spinner Fox says, Dolph is one of my faves, a Mr. Perfect style of a wrestler. Oh, yeah. HBK sucks how they keep doing him. What, you just said he's one. What the fuck? You're talking in circles. He goes, "We'd watch NXT again for Dolph, but I can't do it because he's been on there for weeks, so you haven't. You just lied to yourself." Yeah, and then goes Braun Breaker getting thrown to Roman for what? Why? You don't need to. There's a lot of other shit there.
Yeah,
What's happening?
I don't know. I was
It's better than being on Dark Elevation.
Oh,
I really feel like what you said a while back, where this new NXT is getting to be what it used to be, because so much of this talent feels much more ready for the main roster.
It's crazy.
Like just in general. And my theory is that NXT UK is the real developmental. No one's really talking about it, but think about how many people have come out of NXT UK and they're like now killing it. You know, you've got, you've got Kaylee Ray, you got Gunther. Sorry. You know, and then we're talking about Raw and SmackDown. Like you've got Doudrop, you got so many.
Rhea Ripley. Toni Storm was making a fuss before everything happened.
Like I have been following NXT UK for quite a while, and I love it. But I love also that it's just quiet enough where people recognize the talent, but they're not going there in droves, right? You don't have these crazy crowds, or even on IWC, you don't have these crowds going crazy for NXT UK, but they're showing up and showing out.
Yeah, they're doing crazy stuff. I got A-Kid coming over.
You have A-Kid coming over, and I'm just super happy for the whole evolution of what I see, you know? Like,
I see a lot more crossover with NXT UK too.
It's dope.
Great.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
I think with people, like, because I know with A-Kid, unless, you know, you were watching NXT UK or you'd seen, you know, some of his matches internationally, you're not going to know who the heck the guy is. I mean, I was lucky I saw him at Bola, and he was amazing. And, you know, and I was just like, wow, because it's no wonder that Regal, because Regal was there, and that's when he got, you know, like Jonah and a lot of those guys, MSK, the whole lot of them, that it's no surprise to me that he picked up A-Kid. And then now what's great about it is he's buff now. Like, he was kind of scrawny, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But now he's kind of buff, little Superman right there. So definitely, you know, we're in for a treat. So I'm excited if they kind of book him in a program correctly.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome.
I'm fudged. So.
Yeah. Even Finn Balor was on After the Bell, and he was talking about how much he likes what NXT 2.0 is doing. He said that one of the things he thought was even interesting was that he was there like 2 weeks before it changed. And he goes, and then I'm seeing people on TV that I never even met before. He goes, I was just there. I didn't even meet them. It's not like I saw them backstage and they just weren't on TV. He goes, I never met them, never saw them, and now they're on TV. He goes, it's really exciting to see something so fresh and so different and so new.
Yes.
And he talked about how the Black and Gold brand had really gotten away from what NXT was when he was even in it, where he said it was really preparing you. He said him and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and that class, that era right there, were people who were really learning how to be on the main roster, how to get ready for Raw and SmackDown. How do you get what you knew in the indies and turn it into WWE? How do you find yourself in that world? How do you shake off bad habits? How do you grow new good habits and all of that? And he said, and all that was stripped away during the Black and Gold era that people think about with the Adam Coles and the Undisputed era and all of that. He said, where no one was getting ready anymore for the main roster. It was finding a home in NXT and going to stay there. And he goes, now we're back to a world of people getting ready for a bigger show. Like, that's 100% what we saw when we were watching. It was what we talked about when it shifted. I was like, I'm glad it's shifting. It's about time. I'm tired of watching this thing be just more indie stuff. Like,
and also watching that interview with Corey Graves after the bell and Finn Balor, when Balor said, you know, I don't know how much longer I want to do this, because, you know, obviously he's been away from his home. He's been away from Ireland. He talks about how difficult it's been for the past 20 years, you know, to not have those moments with your family, your friends. And part of me is wondering, like, could he be a coach at NXT UK? Like, that would be awesome. You go back home, right? Be closer, still do what you love in a different way. And it really got me thinking, like, man, that actually might be the way to go. Like, if it is becoming the true developmental, which is my theory. And I also want to shout out Robbie Brookside is NXT and NXT UK trainer, and his daughter is Zaya Brookside. And she did a post today saying happy birthday to him. And I didn't realize that his daughter is in NXT UK. Probably has the ability to be in Orlando, but isn't. So I'm wondering, is she just so new that he wants to keep her, just stay in NXT UK? Because it really is a great training ground, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, at the same time, Dewdrop talked about training in NXT UK versus getting to Raw. She said that in NXT UK, there was a whole lot of thoughts of like, oh, this is chaos, this is crazy. It would never be like this on the big show. And she gets there and she goes, I text them back now and be like, you wouldn't believe it's exactly like this on the big show. There was a massive mental disconnect. They thought it must be so different, and this is this, and they didn't see it as being as connected. But yeah, and happy birthday to Robbie Brookside. Splinter Fox knows a kid from Rev Pro, which is good.
Yep, if you watch Rev Pro, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't like currently what's going on with Rev Pro, but you know what?
But I actually would be absolutely shocked if Finn Balor didn't end up as a coach in NXT UK towards the end of his career, just because, for one, it's right there where he lives. And for two, before he was in WWE and he was on the Indies, he ran training schools back in Ireland like crazy. When he was 19, he opened up his first training school. That's where Becky learned. She learned under his tutelage. He was already training wrestling, like fucking insane to think that he wouldn't continue to do it. Like he just would, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? NXT or AEW or otherwise?
Oh, I forgot we didn't touch on this. I should have when we were talking about Miro. So Miro signed apparently a multi-year deal.
A 4-year extension, they say, yeah.
Yeah. And when was the last time we saw him? November, maybe?
Free money, baby.
Hey, JR.
Yeah, I know.
JR said it before. I heard it on a quick interview on a commercial in the car. He had, I forget which one it was for, but they were like, so, you like the product? They asked about AEW, and he's like, I'll tell you what, every Friday I'm just grinning ear to ear like a Chester cat. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, when he gets that paycheck.
It's
real easy to like the product when you get that paycheck.
Yeah. I know that's what Janela was living for, but, obviously they're not. I don't know. Maybe they're in talks. Who knows? I don't know. I like seeing random Janela here and there. Yeah. But that's just me.
Oh, Splinter Fox says that he saw Miro at the Clippers game on TNT last week. So
that's not the same. Come on now.
Okay. That's the same. That counts.
Why does it count?
It's an appearance.
Sort of. I mean,
he's representing the company.
No, was he there with his wife?
Probably.
His hot wife.
I mean, good for him for getting, getting free money. But also, I'm just thinking, like, I don't want to be mean, but isn't that a little bold of a new company to just say, oh, yeah, we'll be around another 4 years?
Well, I mean, yeah, but...
Okay. All right. I was a little surprised. I thought, 2 years is probably more.
Well, Tony has the belief that they will last for literally forever, that he can't run out of money.
Okay.
Which is also fine. That doesn't bother me. But the idea of like saying, oh yeah, 4 more years. Yeah, he thinks they're going to be around for at least 70 years. So he's making those little plans. But I was surprised just because, like you said, it's been almost a year since we've seen Miro. We haven't seen Brian Cage in like a year. Joey Janela we haven't seen in like 2 years. Yeah, and they're all talking about re-signing and stuff, and it's like everyone's like, "Oh, this is crazy. How can it be?" Well, look at Janela. He's been making free AEW money and working at GCW this whole time. He's doing what he actually wants to do while getting paid to not do a thing that probably doesn't like to do as much, if I'm being honest. I don't think he ever hates being in a wrestling ring, but I do think he prefers the GCW atmosphere than the AEW atmosphere.
Probably.
Oh, I was going to mention real quick, as far as AEW goes, I thought it was really cool. In the ring, during Revolution in the corners was a DraftKings logo. So I think they were also getting DraftKings sponsorship for the thing. I don't think they have the full-on contract like they have with WWE, because there's like a partnership that DraftKings and WWE have. I think they just had a thing on DraftKings and wanted to make it look good. But I thought that was cool. That's great. Adding AEW to more things that WWE is attached to is good for Al.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that Tony's getting his fingers in whatever pots he can for money, because I'm pretty sure it's like his father's like, dude, you're spending a lot of money on some of these things, and is there a return?
Yeah, there's got to be a return.
I don't know. That's where I'm curious, and I'm not. I don't want the IWC to be all, oh well, there's this number and this number, but I'm like, maybe. I don't know if the return is equal to what he's shelling out.
Yeah, I have no idea. And we don't know the contract, especially on that level. But
I don't either.
At the end of the day, you do want, regardless of what your return is now, you do want more. So yeah, get your hands in those pots, man. Spin Fox does say, I love how Stardust didn't get re-signed and Tony is throwing money at everybody now. There has to be something behind the scenes that we don't know. The March has to be crazy. Yeah. No, there's a lot going on back there, I'm sure. And the idea of Cody Rhodes being easily the most professional, corporate-minded person in that company at the time to leave, I think was wild. Because, I mean, we even saw Tony Khan come out and cut that promo about Ring of Honor. Fuck, that dude's wired. He did not come off as a super professional business type. He came off as a disheveled, Ritalin-ladled child with a lot of money. But either way, Spin Fox says he's been erased from AEW. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to cover? We could before we do last call.
No.
I think that was about it.
I think I'm good. A little bit of a late night, but we did have Revolution, Dynamite, NXT, Roadblock. We got a whole lot of things coming up this way. And we'll see how it all plays out. I know that it sounds like WrestleMania weekend we're going to do maybe a watch-along or two, and we'll see how that goes. And
I think what would be fun is doing Joey Janela Spring Break.
That would be fun.
That would be a real fun one. Only because I know the X-Pac match with Joey, I mean, that's going to be incredible. And, and this is the 6th one. This is crazy to me. Like, this has been going on for 6 years, and I'm like, I've been to one. I'm going next year. So, Joey, if you're listening, I promise I'm going next year. And you're probably like, yeah, bitch, whatever. Yeah. But no, I'm going next year. And I'm going to sit in front row in all its glory. So, definitely excited about that. And the clusterfuck. The clusterfuck, it is what it is. Hopefully, we see Sam on there. I'm hoping.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
See Stackhouse from there at least.
Yeah, Stackhouse would be great. Yeah. So, just because, we sport all whatever. And it's not a weird time like the clusterfuck is. Joey Janela Spring Break is actually, they actually finally.
For a second, I was like, what the hell is Sam Roberts doing now?
Yeah, Sam Roberts going to
be. No.
Stackhouse. I wouldn't be shocked, to be honest.
One week he's in SmackDown, the next week.
But. Yeah, I think I'm actually bummed out that I won't be at the Spring Break this year because X-Pac and Joey Janela is one that I'd like to be there for, but maybe I'll catch one down the road.
But I wanted to go back to Punk in his crying video.
Oh yeah.
So with Tony and obviously it was a press conference. Sean Ross Sapp asked a question, and then Punk was like, "Don't I have you blocked on Twitter?" And he's like, yeah. And then he says, will you unblock me? And he goes, no. I just thought that was the best thing ever.
That's so good. That's awesome.
He knows you're a dick too.
My God.
So, I just had to laugh at that.
I was laughing at Tony calling Sapp Nick Khan. Or Nick Khan.
Yeah, Nick Khan.
Sorry.
Nick Hausman. Yeah, he was getting Nick Hausman and Sean Ross Sapp confused. I think it was great.
Yeah, that was hilarious too. But the whole thing about,
there were so many things.
Yeah, I'm not blocked by CM Punk. I am not. I'm one of the.
Sasha Banks did an interview with somebody once, and it was like guerrilla wrestling or something like that, and she's all like, "Why does that sound so familiar?" He goes, "I don't. Maybe because you have us blocked." And then she's all like, "Oh, that's right." And the thing, and he's all like, "You think you can unblock us?" She goes, I think we'll just put it out in the universe, and whatever happens, happens. Like, you don't need me to follow you. You don't need to be unblocked.
That's hilarious.
The universe does what it does. I was just like, I loved it.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Or
out some
you can
crystals.
be like Colt Cabana, who blocked me, and 100 people at Double or Nothing, the first one, went up to him at StarCast. Did you unblock Amanda? You need to unblock Amanda. I don't understand why you didn't block Amanda. So finally, he text messaged me and was like, did you send your minions? I go, no. I said, a lot of people are doing this on their own accord. I'm like, and he goes,
the rest are just noble people.
Yeah. And I said, they obviously, and he goes, but I unblocked you. And I go, I know, but they don't know that, because this was before, you did it like a week before. So I didn't announce like, oh yeah, you unblocked me, whatever. Right. I'm not going to do it. But also I did not expect people to go up to you at least 100. But he also did get some merch sales out of it too. Because the first person who went to him, he's like, she goes, my friend Erica, she goes, so Colt, you need to unblock Amanda. And he was like, that's a common name. And she goes, Ms. Amanda. He's like, oh, God damn it. Like, really? Like, she's asking you to do it. She goes, no, I'm just doing it because, you're her favorite. And yeah. So
very good. Very good.
Yeah. But we're not
buy
blocked.
A shirt and maybe I'll do it. Just buy a shirt and put it out in the universe.
Or buy a little figure or a pin or whatever.
Yep.
Whatever. A headband. I mean, I don't know.
We will see how it all plays out. We'll find out who's all blocked next week. We will be back here next Wednesday.
Woo!
For a brand new episode 1 right here in the dive bar of the IWC.
No, we're Thursday.
You're Thursdays. I'm here Wednesday and Thursday. Right?
Oh, that's right. You're here both. I'm sorry.
I'm back to back, baby.
Wednesday, I'll be watching. Wednesday, I need to see Thunder Rosa win.
Yep. We're going to be there to talk about it. Maybe I'll have it playing live, so that way we can do a live reaction when Thunder Rosa kicks the shit out of Britt Baker in that goddamn cage. Cage her up like Abaddon.
DMD. Yeah.
Cool.
DMD. Loser. We'll be back next Wednesday right here in the dive bar of the IWC. That's the last call.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here, guest, or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.